Hello, and welcome to Power Play, where everybody is here. Sam just had to get up for a second, but we have everybody, so just yeah, don't worry about that empty square. Um, so yeah, oh my God, we are here in the what is basically the first episode of the second half of season four. We which is it's just stunning to me. The season has been flying by, but yeah, so far just kind of been loving it. So yeah, I'm Rick Budd, your game master, and these four lovely and 3.5 lovely people you see in front of you are Omar Najam, our Vion Vigor, Caitlin Bruder, our Benny Beckett, B Zelda, our Ulez Gali, and in invisible form right now is Sam Delev, our Cadrax Eversinger. Hi everybody. And yeah, so as usual, I would like to start by throwing a special thanks out to Jake and Lauren and the mods and everybody at QueueTimes. Uh, we could not do what we do if you did not do what you do. So thank you so much. We love you all. And yeah, your subs and your bits help support QueueTimes, and your donations to the tip jar, which you see down there, go to the people you see on screen. That is our Feed the Cast fund. And to that end, we have some rewards. As usual, here's how they work. If we get to $50, the team gets a point of community determination. There is no determination on the board right now. No player has any, and there's none in the community pot. So that they need that. If we get to $150, the mysterious benefactor, we know inside the game our team has a mysterious benefactor who provides them with useful gifts, no matter where they are in the galaxy. Amazingly, we know outside the game that mysterious benefactor is you, the chat, and this week, if we get to $150, you can provide the team with universal translation upgrades for their earpiece communicators. Sam having to translate for the Star Choir last week reminded me that this is an issue. So, yeah, universal translators, they will help with alien species we meet, and if we wind up going to other countries or Omar,
I was going to ask that. Will it work on Terran languages as well?
Oh, absolutely. Like if we go to, Astrovia or Parnata or any of those, countries that we have alluded to in the game, your universal translators will take care of everything.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that is a mysterious benefactor gift at 150. And if we get to 250, our after credits lore drop, a revealing glimpse of some important but previously unseen part of our story or universe. Y'all have been just incredible in supporting us this season as every season, and we are super grateful. You can always see these tiers in chat by putting the command unlocks. And if you can't support us by donating, you can always help us out by liking and commenting on our YouTube videos. That allegedly helps with the algorithm, so it helps us out. You could go to rate our podcast on iTunes, and like or share our tweets that promote the show. All that stuff actually really helps. And
what about rating our podcast? I don't know, 5 stars, 5 space stars.
I mean,
5 literal stars.
Literal space stars, y'all.
Yeah,
we will take no less.
Large fusion reactions only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Am I seeing that correctly?
What's up?
Goal number 1.
Oh my word, y'all!
Jake?
Already?
Is that true?
I'm gonna go ahead and confirm that. But yeah, it looks like we went from 0 to 255.
Wait, what?
Thank you so much to whoever is behind that. I will find out at the break. We are
Yes, confirmed.
So much. So you have your universal translators and your community determination to thank. To start with, thank you so much, everybody. It honestly means the world to me to be able to pay this cast, and y'all make that possible every week. And just sort of bowled over right now. So thank you so much. Yeah, and you can get Power Play merchandise. There are t-shirts and stickers with Caitlin's wonderful Power Play art. You see, I got my first season or first half Power Play shirt on right now. But now there's the updated art that's got Caitlyn's like new updated art, which is super badass, with like Benny with lava arms and Cadrax with the Plasian buckler. Vion is like Doctor Strange get up, and like Ulez with the cool new armor and stuff. It's honestly, it's like I've got it framed over here on my wall next to the thing to kind of inspire me when we play. It's like Caitlyn's art is just friggin' amazing. So yeah, that is a thing. And the game we play here is called Icons. It is published by Ad Infinitum Adventures. It was created by a righteous fellow named Steve Kenson. You can find him on Twitter at @skenson. The book edition that I have is published by Green Ronin. They have been sold out of it strangely since this show went on the air. And if you want to get it, I think you can still get it as a PDF, and Ad Infinitum might have print to PDF versions. I know they do that sometimes. I don't know if it's right now, but it's a fantastic system, which obviously I love. Give it a shot. You can follow the show at Power Play RPG on Twitter and Instagram. Power Play is now available as a podcast for the podcast inclined, so check that out wherever fine pods are casted. And that's the announcements. Time for Power Play. And we're back. So, previously on Power Play, Lila Pendry introduced the team to Dr. Keith Sutton of the Alien System Tracking and Reconnaissance Organization, also known as Astro. Dr. Sutton explained that Astro had been communicating with the Keepers of Spire, that's Ulez's people, in an attempt to learn more about intelligent life in the universe. That is, until the Keepers sent out an SOS saying they were under attack by the Star Choir of Beta Pixidus, Gadrax's people. Astro sent our heroes to space via a wormhole hidden underneath the waves of Central Bay, but a few hours into their trip, they were attacked by Sunny, the son of Cadrax's mentor, Sonnevel. The attack knocked the ship out of the wormhole, sending it to an unknown region of space where it crashed onto a barren planet. Sunny pursued the team there because he wanted to prevent the possibility that Cadrax's influence as Eversinger would ever change the Star Choir. But ultimately, the team was able to steal Sunny's ship, though they weren't able to capture Sunny himself. The team then continued on to the planet Spire, where they found the Star Choir had already accumulated a heavy military presence. Via a conversation with Star Choir Commander Blair, the team learned that the choir had come to copy the contents of the Great Library of Spire, which contains massive amounts of information about both the Star Choir and their mortal enemies, the Alpha Combine. They also learned that the Star Choir planned to destroy said library once the contents were copied. The team was then enlisted by Keeper Dizeros Elgoron 424160509, who had a plan to steal a hub at the Great Library that backed up all of this information. They all made it to the Great Library only to find Commander Blair waiting for them there. He tried to take the team into custody, but through Vion's magic, he was able to see the death and rebirth of Cadrax Eversinger, which gave him pause. The team escaped, but the hub had already been destroyed. Once back at the ship, Dizeros reported that the Star Choir had started attacking major cities and millions were already lost. The team was ready to try and stop it, but Dizeros told them not to worry about saving Spire because there was a more important task at hand. And that is where we pick up right now, just June 15th, 2021 on Earth. Just so you've got the date there. And we are on the outskirts of Intella. We're going to pick up the exact second we left off. And Dizeros says, our friends, we must get to Luminos. I will explain on the way.
Luminos? Okay. Yes. I would love to see it one last time.
Yes, Ulez. We are going home. So, I'm going to say, You all pile into the ship. This is Sunny's ship that you stole from him back on the unidentified alien planet. Ulez, you're piloting?
Of course.
Okay. You take off, and as Dizaros explained last week, the ship was parked under a nest of trees that sort of shielded you from Starquire surveillance.
Correct.
Once you leave this nest of trees, you are open to being surveilled.
Mhm.
So you fly off. Where's my spaceship? Okay. Ulez, do me a favor, make a handling roll.
I got you. Let's feels a little bit more confident, with the handling. It's almost like the coordination is just a little bit more improved. So that is going to be a 12.
Okay. So you start to pick up off the ground. So this is like, vertical takeoff and landing kind of thing. And Dizaros, do you think we will be able to escape?
We believe so. We are certain. We have the best among the universe for our forces. We have Cadrax, Vion, and Benny. We will escape.
Is there anything that we can do to hide the ship from surveillance?
Ulez will give a very pointed look towards Vion.
If you all want like a square of the ground, this one might be a little more tough.
What type of sensors does the Starquire use? Can Cadrax counter surveillance at all?
We did use such a method to disguise ourselves en route, and the fundamental principles are the same.
We think this is worth trying.
All right, Cadrax will begin to hum then.
Cadrax, give me a complex task roll.
All right. $15.
15. All right, that's a major success. Cadrax, you start humming out this counter signal. Ulez, your handling roll is, right on the money. The ship pulls out and zips, we'll say north.
Okay.
And you fly for a while. And it looks like Cadrax's shield has held up while you pass several Starquire patrols in the air, patrol ships. None of them seem to pick up on you. Dizaros and the other keepers on board are a little somber, obviously. And Dizaros says, the keepers are not a militaristic people, but we have studied such cultures, and we know the prospect of that one would come here to Spire was always a possibility. So generations ago, an escape plan was devised, and that plan is being carried out by our organizers across the planet right now. Parts of the fallen keepers are being reintegrated into the living so that they may go on. And many of the living are having their consciousness uploaded to the sky, as we say. Normally, this is a way of discontinuing a keeper's existence, but in this case, it becomes a way to take millions with us. Those consciousnesses can be reintegrated into the hive mind at a later date. Survivors around the planet are receiving instructions that will send them to Luminos, where an enormous ship, an ark, if you will, awaits in a secret underground hangar. In 2 days' time, this ark will run the blockade and enter the wormhole. From there, we can escape to an infinite number of places far, far away from the Starquire. Added to the millions of gatherers already out in the universe, that is an acceptable rate of survival for our kind.
That is awfully rational. We are comforted by these words.
We are too, Ulez Gali.
And has this plan truly been available this whole time? We had no idea. Do only the organizers know of this?
It is a well-kept secret, one we hoped would never have to be put into effect. And in our entire history, it has never come up.
Understandable. For the same reason that we have never needed any military force. It has not been a necessity.
We agree. And as you continue to fly, the sky starts turning dark. Night falls. And you see eventually, after a few hours of flight, Luminos in the distance. The city is nestled in a valley of purple grass, and in many ways it is very different than Intella, the city you just left. Instead of those retro future buildings that look a lot like the Space Needle, the towers of Lumina are built from hard light. The whole metropolis looks like hundreds of multicolored spotlights just shooting straight into the sky. Like the buildings in Intella, they're adorned with all kinds of artwork showing scenes from around the universe, but in this case, the artwork is projections rendered with light rather than physical materials. But as you approach, you can see that the city has already been attacked. There are a number of smoking craters in places you would probably assume buildings once stood. When you get closer, you can see many of the streets have been rendered unusable by some sort of bombing. And Ulez, this is your first look at your hometown in quite a while.
Mm-hmm. So if I could take a moment for some levity, Uliz is gonna point out the window and point towards that grass and sigh kind of wistfully. I'm going to miss seeing that grass. It was that grass that I used as a prank on my principal back when I was in the School of Excellence. It's just sad that I will never get to see it again.
And Dizeros, looks over at the grass, yes, it is quite sad.
Oh, we aren't ready for this at all. We think that seeing all of this is making leaving it that much harder. We're grappling with these new feelings. We are more than just keeper, which is a story for another time, Dizeros, but...
What do you mean?
Much like we integrate with those who wish to be decommissioned, I have integrated myself with a human that was about to be decommissioned. Although their version of decommission is usually a more organic process, but this individual's consciousness was uploaded into... We'll tell you this another time.
That is most fascinating, Liz Galley. We would appreciate the opportunity to interview you at a time when we are all safe.
Oh, yes, it will happen. Over salad. We'll tell you more about that, too. It is a delightful earth invention, salad and coffee beans.
Separately.
Oh, okay.
And Dizeros looks kind of, delightfully fascinated by all this. And he points ahead and he says, go past the city, further into the valley.
Before we do, can we maybe possibly, if we have time, and I don't mean to step on any particular navigations, but Liz, do you want to maybe snag some of that grass before we pass by too far, just to keep it?
Oh, could we? Cadrax, would you go out and perhaps just grab a handful? It is a frivolous and selfish decision, but we are often feeling more selfish than we have been used to.
Make a willpower roll.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not good at that.
I do want to do something after this. I just want to declare because I keep forgetting to say something.
7?
We do not believe that is a good idea. We should continue forward for now.
I'll give a willpower check for that. Can I?
Yeah, you want to argue with Dejaris?
Yeah, I'll argue with Dezaris.
What do you say?
Argue with the big boss.
Your goal is to save all the information of your people, right?
And as many of my people as I can, as we can.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're sacrificing sentiment for that, you kind of have to ask yourself exactly what you're saving. Doc here, fastest flyer I ever met. As fast as what, like a race car? Is that right, Doc?
A race car?
Like a very fast. They're so fast. And in fact, they would have had the grass back here at while we're having this conversation.
Very well.
Make a willpower roll.
Yeah, hell yeah. Dezaris getting in my face. Come on. Oh man, pumpkin blowing little hearts. That's gonna be a total of 10, unless I add performance, in which case that would be an 11. But that's as good as I can get. I did as good as I can do.
Okay, Dejaris, we think this is a bad idea, but if you insist,
If we're gonna be friends, you're gonna have to realize this is gonna be a very constant pattern.
we hope we live to be friends.
Oh,
Ula's asked Cadrax for a thing.
uh-huh.
Respectfully, Daizeros' opinion on the matter is not directly relevant. So Cadrax will exit the ship and retrieve the grass per Ula's request.
Okay, Cadrax, you let yourself into the airlock and out of the ship, and give me a coordination roll.
Was that 6?
Yes.
Total 6?
Yeah.
All right. You swoop down and you pick up a handful of the grass and then start flying back up to the ship. And while you are doing that, you can see on the ground near the lawn, there are a couple of coral marines, and they clearly point to you as you fly back up to the ship. And then you go back inside.
I do. All right. Very well.
I mean, unless you don't want to.
So if I saw them, were they in the open?
Yes, they are across the lawn, a good deal away from where you were, but they can clearly see the ship and you flying.
So there's just 2.
2.
I could take them. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that not immediately what we were thinking?
Kick their ass, Seabass.
No witnesses.
So you're going after him?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Cadrax, what do you do?
Nope, no. This is it's really bad, but I've already said I'm going to do it, so here we are. I'm going to flyby burst them.
Okay, you fly overhead. That is free action, obviously, and you give me a harmonic resonance roll. 12?
Yes.
Okay, so that is 2 marginal successes. You swoop over them and fire off a bolt of harmonic resonance, or a frequency of harmonic resonance, whatever we call it. And both of them just get knocked onto the ground, kind of tumble over backwards. You can see, this clearly looks like it hurt. Neither one is out of it. One of them points their laser gun, let's say their sonic rifle, up at the sky at you. And the first one fires How are you defending against this?
That's 8 to reflect. And then, let's see, it has to be a dodge roll because it's a ranged attack. It's also an 8 on the dodge.
Okay, so 8 on the dodge and 8 to reflect.
Yeah, I know the reflect resolves first.
Okay, so it is a moderate success, but reflects back at him. He loses another point of stamina. The second one sees what happened when he saw the reflection, the laser beam reflect back, and he starts to run away towards some rocks.
And the little human leggies, I hate that.
Yeah, we'll say that these two are in human form.
Yeah, I suppose I just assumed from the running. Can I still catch both of them in a burst attack? Are they still within close?
One of them's on the ground. The other one started running. There's not really a area of effect, like a defined area of effect for burst. I'll say, if you are acting super fast, you might be able to catch both of them.
All right, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put a vocal burst on the frequency that I know our equipment is.
Those are two different actions. So which one are you doing?
Like damage against an object, not damage against the person. I'm not trying to damage.
Oh, you're not trying to attack them?
I don't want, other than really being very profoundly morally
all right.
angry.
So I think if I recall
my
correctly,
objective should actually be to disable their communications.
All right. Hitting a specific spot or a small target, a called shot increases difficulty by +2. This is very similar to that.
Okay.
Give me your harmonic resonance roll. Oh, balls. Okay, I'm changing dice.
Another 12.
Another 12. All right. You can see, you fire off that blast, and there is a fritz of their equipment. You can tell if they hadn't already radioed it in, they won't be able to now.
Right. That's enough.
You return to the ship?
Yes. Okay.
You fly back up to the ship, and you let yourself in through the airlock with the grass. And Daizeros looks at you, and he says, "We hope they were not able to alert the rest of them of our presence."
Grass. Ulis.
Oh, that's beautiful. And they're gonna smush it into their face. I don't know if they have any olfactory senses. It's never really come up, and they don't have to eat.
I would assume you do. I don't know. It's it's hard for me to imagine Ules Galley can't smell the flowers.
I think
It's
my
effectively
model
chemical sensors, right?
Yeah. The model of Ules Galley, we definitely have something along those lines. So they kind of smush it in their face. It smells like mischief. We are so grateful for this. Thank you.
And Daizeros points. We should go.
Just very briefly, doesn't need to be a scene or anything. Just while all of that was happening, I think from the first time Ula's said where we were and why it was important to them, Benny's not useful in any sort of piloting capacity or anything right now while she's on the ship. So I think I want to find some sort of viewport window someplace out. And you said that we have all of our items, mysterious benefactor items with
Anything
us.
that's portable, yeah.
So could I theoretically have my camera?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
While we're flying over, I want to take as many photos as I can of undamaged areas of the city from up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think that requires a roll. Okay. You are documenting what you can.
Cool. And then I'll join everyone probably about the same time that Cadrax gets back.
Ules, Daizeros, again, past the city into the valley.
Very well.
You continue on, and the further you fly, the narrower the valley gets. It eventually gets so narrow, it's like kind of flying right between two kind of grassy cliff faces that are so close together. You know, y'all have to strap yourself in so Ulas can like turn the ship the long way on its axis, and at the end of this channel, there is a rocky wall, and there is a very narrow crack in it. And Dizeros points and says, "In there."
You want me to fly the ship in there?
Very quickly, please.
Okay. Oh dear. Oh heck.
Ulas, give me a handling roll.
I'll take it. That is a 10.
And it looks like it's going to be close for a second, but then it's just sort of like one of those like whoosh, like right in, kind of like those cool shots from the movie where like, you know, you think you're going to hit the cliff face, but it's like just deftly right through. And yeah, as soon as you enter that crack in the wall, suddenly it's light again. And you realize you are in a gigantic hangar. It has been built into what looks like a hollowed out mountain.
Whoa.
There are hundreds of keepers working there. There is a lot going on. But in the center of it all is this ship, the Ark Dizeros was talking about. It looks something like an enormous silver top, but kind of covered in multicolored lights. It's kind of so cool looking, the aliens from Close Encounters would be jealous. And it is so big, it is difficult for me to describe. For context, the biggest ocean liner ever built, called the Symphony of the Seas, I looked it up, holds 6,600 people. This ship has to easily be 100 times that size. Dizeros says there is room for hundreds of thousands. If each of those carries the parts of others in them, and we take the uploaded consciousness as well, that is many keepers saved.
Yes, that's very good. Wow, that is a ship.
The Ark is very fast enough to run the Starquire blockade once in flight, but in the atmosphere while lifting off, it will be at its most vulnerable. That was a chance we thought we would have to take, but now you can protect us and then leave in your own ship.
Oh, yes. Also, what do you think our abilities are? What can we offer? Starquire is quite terrifying.
If you made it this far, you have illusions and cloaking abilities and some sort of fire creature.
Correct. I guess I am just intimidated and feeling a little overwhelmed by losing my planet.
We relate to this.
If I had water in my eyes, I feel like they would leak. It is a common human practice we have come to enjoy watching on the media, where their eyes pour water. It is salty water, so it is not good to consume, but it is an expression of extreme sadness.
And you can sort of see, you know, his wheels turning as he searches his databases. Yes, we have documented several hundred thousands of species that have this reaction.
We are feeling like this at the loss of Spire. But this Ark, this is hope, this is good. It's just I can't help but share my reservations.
We must make do with the best chances we have.
I want to take a second and kneel down near Ulez and say, you know, Ulez, the planet's not gone. You know, parts of it have been destroyed, but those parts were built at one point. There was a time before, and obviously there was going to be a time after, and your folks are great at building stuff. I mean, in just a span of like, what, 2 hours, we've seen 2 completely different, like, civilization cities? This is incredible. So, it's still there. I want you to hold on to that hope. I want Ules to hold on to that hope, but also I want to talk to the human part of you for a second, if that's all right.
Yes.
What you just saw is very angering. I want you to take that anger. Don't let it burn you out. But it's good to be angry. And let's use that to come up with a plan. We don't have a lot. We don't have a big ship with a bunch of weapons and stuff like that, but we're pissed off. And there is no greater weapon than someone who's pissed off. And I would say that right now you got 4 people who are extremely pissed off and 2 people who are just a little bit hungry. So with those forces combined, we can blow out any enemy ship from the sky. So get mad and let's figure out a plan.
Understood. We will try to utilize this anger. It has no purpose for Ules Galley, but for Ules, perhaps I can find a purpose with this anger.
All right.
And Ules, somewhere deep inside your gut, maybe it is, that bit of you that is Maria Serrano. You start, you feel that adrenaline that kind of courses when anger starts to hit. It is maybe something you don't understand since it is not, a natural part of you in a way, but like, yeah, it is there. And I will say the ship lands, and you can all get out and, look around the hangar and do what you want now. Daizeros, we are going to go take stock of the situation.
Okay. Will you return once you have a status report?
We shall.
Okay. We will see you.
Let us know
Exist
where we're
well.
useful.
We will.
Pardon?
For now, rest up. Save your strength.
Understood.
And he kind of bops off to go talk to some other keepers.
All right. So we got to outfit this ship with a bunch of weapons, make it a good escape ship, right?
Yes. We have been thinking, could we take down a enemy ship and reappropriate their weapons for our uses? That seems easier than building weapons from scratch. I've never participated in any space combat, nor really had any purpose to research it at all. But one time we did watch a documentary about some space warfare in another solar system.
Yeah, we did. What was it called again?
Star Wars?
Yeah. So we could pull some Star Wars stuff.
Cadrax, I am unfamiliar with a lot of the intricacies of space combat. Do you have any advice? Particularly that to do with, well, we hate to say it, but against our people. I am unfamiliar with their weaknesses. We do not know how to proceed. Are there any vulnerabilities in the ship? We could not determine a whole lot based off of Sunny's ship.
We do not use very long-range weaponry. Our method of attack is to use those cords, attach them to an enemy ship, and use it as a vehicle for a choral voice as a weapon directly. Any weapon engineered that had range longer than our ship's cords would be able to attack uncontested.
Oh, we have a question.
In the front.
Noise dampening technology. Something to cancel out their frequencies? Is that a possibility? And would that hinder their ships or only the soldiers?
If one could dampen resonance, one would naturally reduce the damage taken to a ship, likewise being able to amplify from our own chords. If they attack us, we can attack them via the same chord. It does not matter whether we grapple or they.
Okay.
So once we're attached, it's
Both are vulnerable.
Really? Can I just add that, like, as we're saying this, I'm casting like image, and like there's like 3 chalkboards behind us, and like
Yes.
ideas are being like jotted down with a little piece of chalk.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah! Get you a GM like Rick, everybody. Okay. I'm digging this. So at that point, it just becomes a knife fight. I mean, it's if you get close range, then it's we can hurt them, they can hurt us.
It is not a particular tactic that my people have ever studied. It is not typical to attack voice against voice.
Interesting. Okay.
When they use the tether, is it individuals sending their voice along, or is it a technological resonance that comes down the line?
What my people can produce, as you might have observed, is at the right end of the curve, significantly more powerful than most of our conventional weaponry.
So, how much damage could a couple of Star Choir, I don't know if soldiers, the right knights, that's what, knights who... Marines
Yes.
do versus an Eversinger on the same chord? Because I don't want to put you out there to get, effed up or whatever, but...
No, you intuit correctly that they are not of comparable vocal power. And you can tell that Catrax is biting back at least 8 different branches of armed forces attitude right now. There are so many things that they would probably say about Coral Marines as a knight. But that is to what they limit themselves verbally. That said, of course, any attack with such weaponry has the potential to kill me.
That's
irretrievably.
right.
What
Yes,
about good point. What if there were 3 of you? I'm just saying, hey, again, I know only so much about music, but you can form a chord, and that's something. You can form a nice little suspended 6th. And Beyond kind of starts to go into just some jazz stuff. It's just we could do some discordant stuff. Sorry, I don't know if this is applicable at all. Bridging keys.
Get you a player like Omar.
I mean, just like Ella Fitzgerald, them. You know what I'm talking about?
There are no players like Omar.
Even this one, you think Omar's a guy? He's like the Omar Bot 5000 cost us a fortune to put together for the show. Yeah.
We make
all
a lot
of our
jokes,
budget.
But yeah, I do want to thank my interns who are sitting right off camera. Thank you, all 7. Also, just in terms of a straightforward tactical situation, the only space battle I've ever really been personally a part of has been Star Fox 64, which birthed the common catchphrase "do a barrel roll." When we get tethered, could we possibly barrel roll out of that, Catrax?
Or
The sheer force would be catastrophic.
To them?
And us.
It might tear both of us apart in that.
and that just it just gets scratched out.
I think while y'all are kind of working on some things, Liz has started to wander off a little bit. Are there any Esma latricombs around?
My little chart here.
Or sorry, not Esma. I want a Nulex Vocava.
Nulex Vocava, science officer.
Yeah.
Or a science gatherer. Yes, there are hundreds of keepers in here, and there are, several Nulex Vocavas doing their thing.
Is there a Nulex that is known for their eccentric ideas of science? The stuff that's kind of not as considered okay within the Keeper Society. Like, I'm looking for the weirdest Nulex I could find.
Well,
Do you want like an awareness?
Roll for
Yeah,
weirdos.
you can make an intellect roll, but it's the way things work on Spire. It's like, as you know, it's like you're all identical to start, and then only differentiated through your lived experiences. So it's like
Mhm.
be very hard for you to know which Nulex that might be, and if that Nulex would be here. But make an intellect roll. I'm just gonna set a very high threshold
Oh
on this.
no. I mean, I'm pretty darn intellectual. That is an 11 total, unless I could add my investigation, which makes it a 13.
Tracking
I just
somebody,
want more Keeper
finding
NPCs.
people.
I will say you find one Nulex sitting alone in the corner, who's just
Aw.
kind of like on hands and knees staring at the floor.
Ulez will kind of bop on over, not too dissimilar from Deseros, and then kind of stop in front of the Nulex. Are you looking for something on the ground?
We have heard that some species think better when they have great blood flow to their head. We do not have this blood, but we are experimenting to see if having the point of gravity focalized on the top of our heads helps us think differently.
I like that thought. We have some quick. Well, okay. Nulax, we have observed you from previous occasions upon our time here, and if memory serves, and it has been quite some time, but we have some recollections of your rather unique methods of research. And we were hoping that you might have some unique perspective of space warfare.
At the moment, my unique perspective can be from the ground up.
Yes, very good. We are trying to get from the ground up. We must try to flee the planet. Therefore, we think you are the perfect Nulex for this.
How can we help you, Ulez Galley?
Oh, yes. If we were to engage in some spatial warfare to, say, protect the Ark that will be disembarking from this location in a matter of 2 Earth days. Earth days are a rotation around the sun. It doesn't matter. What does matter in this instance is, if I wanted to fight the Star Choir, we aren't exactly equipped for combat, and we were wondering if you had any other advice or any extra arms you could lend, or even just a hand.
We believe that the Ark is fast enough to break through the Star Choir blockade, and we expect very few of the Star Choir ships to be successful in attaching their tethers to the exterior of the Ark, which is made from one of the hardest substances that we know of, their own plasium. And successful defense of the ship will probably entail what we believe is called damage control. If a tether attaches, it must be cut.
Nulax, you have not faced these Marines from the Star Choir. You have not seen the violence that they can commit, and it is just not something that I can continue to witness. So please, if you know anything about any kind of weaponry, I would be more than happy to replace both of my arms with what have we seen humans using? It is a launcher of rockets or something to that effect, except the rocket is a rather compact device that explodes upon impact. Are you familiar?
We are familiar with the concepts of rockets, Ulez Galley.
Yeah, so We have not spoken with Keeper in a very long time. We've gotten quite used to explaining the really simple things that were not necessarily simple but have become complicated.
Ulez Gali, we were present at the fall of Mentoria. We saw
Oh,
many keepers destroyed. We understand your fear, but we do not believe we have any special insights.
truly. Well, we thank you anyways.
We will keep thinking on the matter.
Okay. Well, we thank you and exist well.
Exist well, Ulez Gali. And then they turn their head back to the floor. And Dizeros comes running over. My friends. A group of keepers making their way from the city of Akuma has been pinned down in Luminos. They are hiding at the amphitheater at the School of Excellence, but they do not believe they can stay hidden for long. We do not wish to impose on you again, but can you take me to save our friends and bring them back here?
Yes.
Please impose. That's why we're here. So
Yeah, what else are we gonna do?
All right. If you're all in,
we go. Do we?
Is there one thing I can do while we're still in the like arc place chamber?
What would you like to do?
I'd like to ping upward toward the surface.
What are you looking for?
If I can perceive the surface, then star coral sensors can currently perceive the arc. The underground nature of it means that it is possible that the choir is aware of the arc. I can determine that, or at least get a better sense of it, if I myself can ping. If I can see the surface, then I can pretty fairly assume that the choir can see us, and then they would know the vector the arc is leaving. They can engage with knowledge.
Give me a ping roll.
15.
Okay. You fire off a ping and it just comes right back at you. And Dizeros says, this chamber is lined with a very thick alloy of plasium. It is quite unlikely you will be able to make your harmonic resonance penetrate it.
Good.
As we get into the ship, I would like to turn to Cadrax. Hey, Doc, plasium versus palladium, what would that do?
It would do roughly the same as any metallic interaction. Could you be more specific?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, I kind of like let Benny into the conversation. I'm just saying if we turn Benny into palladium.
Then Benny would be made of plasium.
Molten plasium against one of the tethers, would that do anything? And there's a question mark on the chalk. Something to mull over. We should probably head over to the university, but
Sorry, since we're brainstorming, how much of an effect did I have on the tether last time?
Well, last time, and I was waiting
It
to
was
see
a
if anybody remembered this. Yes, it was a combined effort where you didn't roll super high, but you were able to slowly melt the plasium and sort of compromise its structure a little bit as Vion tinkering with the engine caused the ship to barrel roll, pulling it away from the tether. Cadrax, of course, had to absorb the shot that came down the line, but
given that with far weaker metals, plasma cutters and so on are required tools, and given the temperature of plasma relative to the temperature of molten metal, I'm not sure we could quite cut through. But
I think
materials science was hardly my area of emphasis. It was primarily combat.
And from somewhere in the background, you hear Nulex Fakava go, "We will think on it."
Sorry, who? Ulas, who is that?
Oh, that was Nulex. They are incredibly intelligent and have a lot to offer in terms of scientific knowledge and discovery. Just their method of exploration is often questionable.
As they're like looking at the floor.
Yeah, you gotta peek over and just see this one keeper kind of like head down on the ground. It's,
There's like
okay.
a rack focus as we all turn and look, and then a rack focuses back to us.
Yes. Oh god, yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Okay.
I mean, on my own, I think we figured that I only get like a little over 2,000 degrees in freedom units, but so I don't know what the melting point of Plasium is.
Ooh, I don't know that off the top of my head. I know
That's okay. I don't think we
Right,
need
because
because
again-
Benny's just
Yeah.
speculating out loud. It's
it is a
either
level
answer.
7 material.
We are doing fictional material science,
Yes.
people.
Yeah, it's fictional. Benny's more just talking out loud.
Okay. Well, all ideas. And like the chalkboard poofs away.
Cool.
All right. You pile onto the ship, and Dizeros comes with you. And Ulez, you're piloting again. Give me a handling roll.
Oh, butts. How's a 7 for you?
This time, as you fly out the
Oh,
crack,
gosh.
the bottom kind of the ship scrapes along, and it's like, you're all kind of, and then the ship just keeps flying forward.
Oh, oops.
Hey,
Uh,
don't worry about it.
probably hurts your structural integrity a hair. But you fly on back to the city of Luminos, and when you get there, Ulez, you know the way to the School of Excellence. This was your school, and this amphitheater is the same place you stood when you graduated, the place that Bella Murata showed you in the vision of your memory, where you stood on stage with an infinite number of other Ulez galleys and all spoke in unison. The ship pulls in just outside the amphitheater, where there is room for it to land. And everybody give me an intellect roll.
Okay.
I would like to magma before we exit the ship, just for FYI. 7 and 1.
12.
11.
10.
Ooh.
Okay, Benny, you magma. As
9 is as high as I
you
can roll.
as you fly in, and I probably should have asked Cadrex if you were doing your blocking the Star Choir thing. I'm going to assume you are, since you were doing it before when you were flying.
Yep, I just rolled 116 to hum.
That would have been plenty. You can see there are several groups of Coral Marines in the vicinity, and they definitely seem to be searching for something.
Are we gonna distract him, or are we gonna just do we want to like half and half escort keepers, half distract, or do we just want to make a big scene and hope the keepers can get out?
Distraction could be performed effectively.
I'll be part of Team Distraction. I'll go ahead and just volunteer for that.
I will join you in this endeavor.
Okay.
Well, as you and me, we're gonna go get him.
Correct.
Okay. Can you contact them so we know exactly where they are, or is that not something we have a way to do?
Dizeros, it would possibly be unwise to use communications at this point, as they could be being monitored.
Okay.
That is correct.
We're gonna rely on our number 1 investigator then.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go get him.
The ship opens up, and you see the amphitheater. It is roughly the size of a small college football stadium. And, like all the buildings in Luminos, it is made of hard light. The whole structure kind of glows ever so slightly. And it has along its walls pictures of keepers who you assume are graduates or faculty or something like that, or perhaps notable historical figures from
They all
Spire.
look the same, except
Yeah.
there's like the occasional dent, or like somebody has like a different, like half of their headpiece, or maybe one arm is a little different.
Yeah, it's all minted identical, but only change with the experience of life, and that is the only differences that you can see in them. Ulez, yeah, this is like truly coming home for you in a sense. This was your school, and let's start with team distraction. What are you doing?
What a good question. What would be should we both go in as infiltration unit, or do you want to do another situation where you're taking me in?
Let it. Let us do either of those things, perhaps one with your interactions, but let us first lead them away from the probable site of our allies. The chase of untamed avians.
You want to send them on a wild goose chase?
That is what I said.
Yep. Okay, great.
Okay, so what is the plan? How are you doing this? How are you sending them on a wild goose chase?
If we assume that they're probably ping spamming.
Yeah,
I
would
want
say
to create rhythms of like a bunch of little footsteps, but over there. The kind of thing that gets picked up on a ping. Weird vibrations.
they are ping scanning, ping scanning. But as you know, Cadrax, these are not knights; these are Marines, so their powers are much less useful than someone like yours, or or Sunny or something like that. So those pings, they're not like your pings. They
They're
can't
weaker
ping the
and
whole
easier to
building.
frick.
Yes, and yeah.
And that's sort of what I'm riding on here, because I'd probably be able to figure it out. Maybe let's not test that. But like,
all right,
these are just Marines. They aren't.
Give me a complex task roll.
11.
11.
Not my best, but they're Marines. They're Chrome Marines. Come on.
Yeah, okay, that is a major success. And the Marines that are in this area, and I said there are like a couple of groups of them. You can see like like if these were cops, they would sort of be like walking around in the bushes with flashlights and stuff. Instead, they're kind of walking around, pigging the bushes and things like that. And one of them's like, I think I got something over here, and like they all just start like running towards where you sent your ping. While this is going on, let's go to team Go Get 'em. What are you doing?
So sorry, Dizerus had kind of explained to us earlier, where specifically were they trapped?
Doesn't know. He says they were in the amphitheater.
Just in the amphitheater.
We did not we were not told specifically where they were hiding. They said they were pinned down in the amphitheater, were the exact terms.
Okay, understood. Well, I can teleport us in there, but many of you are often incredibly impossible to touch when you are, molten lava.
Yeah. Did we establish that the atmosphere is here is fine
Yes.
for humans?
A
We did
little
that, right?
less oxygeny, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'll just power off, hold out hand, which is probably just a little warm right now. And then once we teleport, she will lava back on again.
Ulez, you know what the inside of this amphitheater looks like the back of your hand. So that is not an issue, but you still have your uh-oh die. So give me a teleportation roll.
Okay. Nice. That is solid on the well, that's a 3 on the O die, but that means I'm okay.
Success.
And that's gonna be a total of 9.
Okay, and there's that little green crackle that the Darnell teleporter makes, and you bamf right onto the stage in the amphitheater.
I would like to re-lava as soon as I can.
Yeah, okay.
Yes,
You
I do
lava
that
up.
first.
Yeah, you start laving up again.
1 and 7 again.
Give me an intellect roll.
leaning on you. I'm the muscle here.
I got a 10, but 12 if I can add my investigation.
Brilliant. 8.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
can
bad.
add it. 8.
Yeah.
Okay, and let me refer to zeros here. Die not really working for me tonight. And this is the second one too. Okay, so you have a 12, you have an 8. You look around from the stage, and I probably should have asked you where you wanted to land. I'm sorry.
Oh
Like
no,
I
I'm
said,
happy with the stage. I like the
is-
drama of it. The curtains are kind of pulled open, like that light curtains, but still maybe there's like some kind of setting, like a backdrop on the back of the stage that was never turned off or changed. So we land in this rather magical fae-esque background, and there's just chaos.
Oh yeah, I love it. And yeah, so you kind of the three of you sort of spread out and start kind of looking around. Zeros sort of looking over the seats, in this amphitheater, and the whole audience section, looks just empty.
Are there any coral marines inside, like in this like room?
You don't see any right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, we just like came out in the open, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, if they're in here, they're gonna see us anyway. So Benny's just like, "Hello, we're here to help." Hello.
You don't hear any response. But Ulez,
Mm-hmm.
with your 12, like I said, this amphitheater like the back of your hand, and you quickly scan the seats like Dazeros did and see that there's nobody there, and you look around the stage and see that there is nobody there, and there are only so many places in this amphitheater.
Mm-hmm.
You quickly duck your head behind this illuminated backdrop, and the backstage area seems equally empty, and then your eyes settle on a trapdoor in the floor, which is used to raise a podium up for speakers.
Oh, that would be a great place to hide.
I would like to go investigate it.
Yeah, okay, Ulez, you go over to the trapdoor. Maybe give me another investigation roll.
It's my favorite roll. How's a 13 for you?
Oh, that's great. And yeah, you look at it, and you can see when this place was being attacked, it looks like, maybe it took a little bit of bombing and a little bit of dust kind of sprinkled all over everything when the building shook. And you can see that some of that dust is disturbed around the trapdoor, as if it has been moved since the dust fell.
Oh, I have deduced. Penny, there's the house.
Coming. And Benny will like run.
And Dazeros kind of bops his way to the backstage area, and I guess that's how we describe keeper movement
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I feel like it's right.
Boop, boop, boop. And yeah, and did we find them?
We believe we have deduced that the dust that has settled here has been disturbed around this trapdoor, and it is absolutely where I would go to hide if I was being under attack. We are a little you see that our hand is shaking. Benny, would you open the trapdoor?
Yeah. Okay. Is there like a handle? Is this something that like there's a mechanism that needs to open it, or?
I will say, yeah, there's just
A
kind of a
hole in the
handle on top.
Okay. Yeah, Benny will just kind of be like, I don't know how well I can knock in fluid form, but she'll kind of like tap on the floor and be like,
Sploosh, sploosh.
"Hi, don't be alarmed. We're coming in." Like she has solidity, but she's not like fully solid. So she doesn't have like knuckles to rub on it. So she'll knock on and be like, "We're coming in." Okay.
And you
And then
hear
she'll
back this like whispering voice. There is nobody in here but us keepers.
That's great. That's awesome. That's who we're looking for. Don't do that next time someone does this, though. Okay. And she's gonna lift the door open.
Yeah, and okay, you lift the door open. It's not particularly heavy, and underneath, your fire kind of illuminates what is down there, and you can see 4 L4 undulatum's, 2 Latra maculuses, 4 Rana linxilises, and 1 Esmalatricome.
Okay, 11 of them.
Oh, we
And-
greet you.
We greet you. We are Ezra Latricombe, 7325900128. Each one of us here carries parts from many of our model. Between us, we are hundreds of thousands. Can you get us to the Ark?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. It is wonderful to meet you, Esma. We do not often get to encounter an Esma of such capacity.
We greet you, Ulez Gali.
Oh,
We
it
greet you.
is-
And they all kind of wave and go, we greet you.
Little echoes.
We have come to save you, but we must be quick. We have our allies on the outside that are trying to distract the enemy forces so that we can make a safe escape.
And Esma turns to the other, we must be quick. And they all kind of start scooting up the ladder and
Well,
getting
well-
back out.
While they're getting them, my God, I just called myself wrong character. Benny's gonna be
I heard
like,
that.
I know, yeah. Benny's gonna be like, Cadrax Vion, are we looking out there? Just over the headphone, the earbud, ear communicator.
I'm going to say that your success is, was going on kind of at the same time as this. So
Good.
Okay, we've got them. We're heading out if it's clear.
Yeah, as of right now, it seems completely fine. Yeah, I won't say anything more.
okay, and the 11 keepers come out from the trap door, and the 11 of them plus the 3 of you come
I would like to
around.
be in
Yeah.
front. I think I should I think I'm gonna lead this charge just in case we come
Yeah.
across someone we're not expecting.
Okay, Benny, you step
Shoot at
around
me.
the backdrop first, and there in the amphitheater now are 8 coral marines. And Benny, I'm going to give you a point of determination.
Okay. Penny's just gonna be like, I think as soon as she steps out and sees that, she just says into Heavy's, Les, keep everyone behind the curtain, please. And we'll just start walking out. But yeah, sorry, what's my what problem
Yeah.
am I about to have?
No, you step around the side, and as soon as you see them, it's this kind of panic moment. A Star Choir. You fought a Star Choir guy in a wormhole. That
Yeah.
you know that they are they are annihilating this planet. There is a moment of panic, and the fire that is closest kept unleashes in a way that it has never unleashed before, and you start to increase in size, growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they are just standing there watching as you increase, let's say, into a...
I don't know how big I can fit in this theater, like a 1 or a 2. I don't know how big this ceiling is.
It's a big ass theater.
Oh, it's big? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's the size of like a small college football stadium. And Benny, you blow up into let's say a how did we say
Has to be
this is gonna
6 or
work?
less.
6 or less?
Mhm.
No, 7 or less, right? So what was
No, 'cause
6
Aura-
in terms?
Aura magma has to be 1.
Oh, I thought it was just Aura has to be 1.
But then I'm magma form right now.
Oh, you're in magma form, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. All right. So what was 6 in terms of height?
6 is, oh my God, 12 stories?
All right, Benny. You now have the secondary effect power of growth, but you unleash it and grow into I'm sorry, say it again.
12 stories?
12 stories, and the Marines just all back up just at the sight of the fire giant, but you are now visible for miles
Yeah,
around.
that's fair. How's that for a distraction? For everybody, for visual reference, think Tafiti from Moana.
What a
Okay.
great reference.
Big lava monster.
And
Also,
the
yeah.
keepers at your feet are
Volcano
just
monster.
sort of, fascinating. We would appreciate the opportunity to interview you at a future time when we are safe.
You absolutely can.
And your voice just kind of echoes.
Oh
and
yeah,
shakes.
I don't know how loud I am.
Yeah. And I will say, as two Star Choir ships just shoot towards you across the sky, and I will say outside the amphitheater, the two of you are like, "This is going great," and then suddenly it's just like fire giant erupts out of the amphitheater.
It probably looks like a volcanic eruption until it suddenly looks like turns humanoid again.
That's what you see.
Why wasn't she on Team Distract?
I think she is at this point.
I think she always ends up on
Yeah.
Team Distract one way or another. Okay. Well, I would like to. Is there a way that I can just like put my arm down in this theater in which it would section off the keepers from the Marines?
Yeah, I would say fairly easily at this point.
Okay.
You can
I would
probably
just like to
lean
do that.
over into the audience where they're standing and just kind of put your arm down in front of them.
And if I still have one magma, then I can still do. I'm still liquid, so I'm just gonna fill a full, give them a full path.
Yeah, you can do
Just
that.
fully, yeah. Just stretch all the way to the door. Give them complete free walk all the way across.
What do we roll for stretching? It's you have one in stretch now, right?
Yeah, I have one currently, and so stretching, I can read you the thing. Is I have you guys. I have so many powers right now. I got so much training. Yes, here we go. Stretching elongates your body limbs, allowing you to reach or attack someone out of extended range. Your stretching level limits your abilities when you extend your reach. So abilities greater than your stretching level are reduced. So yeah, so if this is a Herculean task or something, I'd have to roll for it. But if she's gigantic, I don't know how much of a
this is easy for you. It's definitely not, no. So Vion, Cadrax, you see this, and then you can hear the sound of Star Choir ships flying through the air, just zipping towards the fire giant. And you look up into the sky, and it's a night sky. The ships have, are difficult to see, but possibly spottable. Do you both want to make intellect rolls?
Heck yeah.
I'm sorry, Cadrax? 10, Vion?
Also 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's close, but you can track the movement. You can see where the ships are. There are two of them. They are zooming towards Benny, or where Benny was a moment ago.
Fun fact, it's not a night sky until I take off into it.
Cadrax, you fly off Superman style.
I would like to do the quick check onto Vion before I do so.
I'll hop on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
and I will also laugh at that joke.
Yeah, the two of you zip towards the ships.
Just real quick for just everyone, I am 168 feet tall or 51 meters tall right now. Just for, if you are a numbers person.
Just think about how vexing Dennis Sartori will find this.
I know.
Dennis Sartori has problems of his own.
Big ones.
So yeah, I see what you did.
You set me up, man. I don't know what to tell you.
No one to blame but me. Do me a favor, Cadrax and Vion, roll initiative.
All right. Oh, I dropped it. That's gonna be 11.
Ooh, Cadrax. I'm sorry.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, 6. Okay.
You just keep getting cut off on short bursts into your microphone.
Okay, so I need to be very chatty. Got it. Messages.
Vion, you go first. Then the ships are gonna go, and then Cadrax is gonna go.
These are Palladium ships.
They are an alloy of Palladium. They are not as tough as Cadrax's buckler is. To be able to fly, they got to be a little bit lighter. But they are, yes.
These are lighter ships. Hell yeah, I like that. I am. What I would like to do
very similar to the ship you were in that you stole from Sunny.
still metal though, right?
Particularly a terrestrial, like, an atmospheric vehicle. In the same way ours are made of aluminum for lightness. What you use in grav is different than what you use in space.
What they said.
I love that. Okay, great. Hey, Caitlin, what again did you use when you built a character that controlled magnetism?
I believe it was just like element control.
Element
Energy
control.
control,
energy
magnetism.
control. Yeah, energy
Yeah,
control.
energy
magnetism.
control.
Great. I'd like to cast energy control at level 5, please.
Level 5.
Yep.
Give me the roll.
All right. To turn it on, this is going to be 8 plus roll. That is going to be a total of 11.
That'll do it.
Great. And now it's going to be 5 plus roll. 5 plus roll, that is going to be, unfortunately, just a 7.
All right. So, for vehicles defensive reaction. Okay. So you said 7. Okay, that is a moderate success.
You should have killed me when you had the chance. All right.
You're talking to me?
No.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
To
So
them.
yeah, you can
And you
tell
did.
you did some amount of damage to the ship you targeted.
Oh, what I would
Yeah.
like to do is I would actually like to just tip. Is it wing based? Sam, is that how these ships are?
Yeah.
Because right now they're flying in an atmosphere.
Right. I mean, one would assume that what you have, like, kind of like Star Wars, yes, there are some ships that will land, or, like in Trek Voyager's kind of purpose built for it. You have some ships that like staying in space
Yep.
and some ships that want to stay in Atmo. And
Mhm.
it makes sense to specialize between the two a little bit, with a
100%.
couple exceptions for things that are mostly in space but occasionally want to land.
I couldn't agree.
My
more.
guess is this is a people mover, so it's probably doing some Bernoulli principle stuff.
Great.
Maybe. I
If
mean,
Bernoulli's in the
helicopters don't
mix,
fit it.
I mean, listen, man. Vion's a kid from the Bay Area. In Santa Clara, we came up with the word aeroplane. Look it up. Santa Clara University. It's where it's invented. I want to tip one of those wings, and I want one of them to just kind of just like veer a little bit into the other and damage it.
Huh.
I could have been smart. I could have cast gravity. It's all right. You live, you learn. Well, you
Well,
learn.
today we find out if Plasium's ferromagnetic, though. Today is a
Well-
day of fictional material science.
It's interesting to think about, whether or not that is a stunt or not. Trying to hit one with the other,
Oh, I see what you mean.
but I kind of think it's cool. I feel like this should probably be a stunt, but let's say you damage the one it hits instead of the one that you put,
Great.
the thing on.
I'm even willing to. I would like to, if I could like bend one of the wings a little bit to give it a condition of like being unstable or difficult to maneuver.
Oh. You know what? I think that makes sense.
Hell yeah.
All right. So this one loses stamina, and this one is, let's say, difficult to maneuver.
I love it.
All right. Now it's the ship's turn. The ships fire at Cadrax, and first one misses.
Love to reflect.
Don't even need to roll. There's no way it hit you with the one that I rolled. And the second one. All right. What?
Does that mean I just reflected, though? Because the reflection goes before the dodge or anything.
It doesn't even hit you though. There's nothing to reflect. It shot wide. So second one. Now I'll need your reflection roll.
Oh, this is happening right with me there.
That one's only a 10.
That one is a 10. Okay, so 10 is marginal success. I'll say it just barely grazes you. You reflect it back at it, but it doesn't damage you, and you don't damage it. That brings up Cadrax.
Very well. On a broadly similar technique to attacking the communicators, attacking instrumentation here, they will be trying to course correct very frantically at this moment due to Vion's machinations. I would like to make that more difficult and force their landing.
So what are you trying? So you're going to do a complex task to
Mess with the ship's instrumentation.
Okay. All right, sure. And you're doing this as a burst, so it affects both.
Yes.
Okay. Give me a complex task roll.
Did you get any free activate somewhere?
No, we didn't.
No, he
establish-
didn't.
Okay.
But you do have 1 point of community determination if you want to
We do.
spend. Yeah.
I hope it's very cozy where it is. 14.
14. All right, it's a massive success. Or a major success. Honestly, it doesn't even matter. Actually, let's say at a major success, you see both of them just sort of, start to wobble towards the ground and kind of like skim along the ground, kind of making like emergency landings. Inside the stadium, the amphitheater, the Coral Marines that you are blocking off from the keepers, you as you see one of them kind of, puts their hand to their ear, they all seem to listen to something, and then you hear like, retreat, pull back, and they
Hold-
start making
wait.
a run for the door.
Wait, no. Can't stretch fluid form. I would like to make a little dome with my arm to just like contain them until I know that my keepers are safe. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna keep them? Okay.
yeah, just until the keepers are out. Are the keepers out already?
Did we get to shuffle
Well,
out?
Ulez, what are you doing?
I mean, yeah, they would take kind of Benny's instruction and shuffle everybody out of the amphitheater into a safer space to teleport to the ship.
Ulez, give me a coordination roll.
Oof.
Until then, I'm
Uh,
making a little like corral.
I love it. 9
9. Okay. Now give me a teleportation roll.
with an O die. So, the good news is that's max dice for the teleportation, which is an 11. The bad news is my uh-oh die went off, so I don't know where we went. We're all
Okay.
holding hands, and Ulez is like super confident, like, "Don't worry, we will do our best to make sure that we get back to the ship and back to safety. Just hold hands, everyone."
And bamf, you all disappear and you reappear right at the spot where these two ships that Kadrax
Oh my
put
God.
down have just skimmed along the ground and come to a stop. And you see these two ships just kind of like along the ground right to you.
Oh. This is not the ship. There are in fact ships around, but oh no, keep holding hands, everyone, please. That was technical error. My calculations were off. If we could all just think ship thoughts. Yep, yeah, you too, Nulax. Think of ships, and we will try this one more time.
Dizaris is like, this instantaneous transportation is quite fascinating. We would appreciate the chance to interview you about this when we are at a safer place. All right, so you're gonna try again?
Yeah, I mean, do I have to? I think I have to wait
The way that
turn.
works.
Yeah, I gotta wait a turn unless I want to make it a determined
Effort.
Yeah, unless you
effort,
want
and
to.
I
We do
not.
have it. Oh, no, okay.
We're holding hands. We're good.
Do you want to make a determined effort and spend the point of
No.
determination?
No, I
Okay.
do not.
So, Dion, Kadra, Benny, you're holding back those troops.
I mean, if all the keepers are gone, then I wouldn't be doing that. But I was
Okay.
I was trying to just contain them until the keepers were gone. But if they're all gone, then
All right, Dion, Kadrax, you see the keepers and Ulez just bamf right in front of the two ships you just put down. What do you do?
We should probably go to there.
We go to there.
All right, you swoop towards them. Benny, what are you doing?
Is this okay? So, am I in an interior space, or is there an open ceiling here?
There's an open ceiling. It
Oh,
is
okay.
sort of an outdoor amphitheater, like a
Then I
college
would like
football
to
stadium.
climb out, please,
And
and
yeah,
get a view of what's going on outside. See if I can see my other friends, because in my head, Ulas and the keepers are on the ship, so I'm
this
looking
is
for
not
Kadra.
tough for you. You know, you just kind of walk up the stairs of the amphitheater, melting everything beneath you, and just kind of like step
excuse
over
me.
the side.
Ugh.
The amphitheater is not really taller than. I mean, you're taller than it,
Oh,
so it's
okay,
like
yeah. I just
you
stand
just
up
kinda-
and step out.
yeah. This is like hopping over like a low fence or something. It's just basically like kind of. The two of you just sort of see fire giant Benny just step out of the amphitheater. And the three of you can kind of now see each other again.
I'm hard to miss. Do I see them heading anywhere? Because they were on the move towards
Yeah,
keepers
they
that
are
I don't know where they ended up.
swooping down towards. I think make an intellect roll.
Oh no. Oh, it's a 7?
Okay, you see them swooping down towards a spot where you can see, two ships on the ground.
Oh, okay. I would follow them anywhere, so I just start heading in that direction.
All right, you start walking there. What are you doing, Vion Cadrax?
I mean, we're racing to where the keepers are to make sure that. The immediate threat is when the pilots and crew of those two ships get out. We're gonna have to stop them. So when we land, has anyone exited the ships?
As you get closer to them, you see some of the doors open, and you see pilots, crews start to exit the ship, but they run away from the keepers. And they
That's
start sort of tearing across the lawn in the opposite direction, pulling back.
Hey, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, great. So we land. Ulas, are all of you good at flying these ships? Like, you understand it? Can you relay the information?
Oh, yes.
Great.
Perhaps it's not really the specialty of many of us keepers, but we are very adaptable, right? Newlex, you're adaptable, and they'll like gently elbow the.
Wait, do you have a Newlex? No, there is no Newlex here.
No, what do we have? We had
you have an Esmalatricom.
Esma, good old Esma, my philosophy friend.
Yes, Esmalatricom 7325-90128. And Esmalatricom sort of waves at Vion and Cadrax. We greet you! And the other 10 keepers again, we greet you!
Yeah, we greet you right back. Can let's get a pilot in each, but also scramble any tracking software or hardware that you find.
Okay.
I think at this point Benny has stopped like 30 feet away and is like just crouched all the way down, like a little kid sits on like the dirt in like a playground or something, like with like just like completely squatted, trying to get close to still be able to hear, but also not close enough to like hurt anybody.
It has been long
He's
enough
just trying
since
to pay attention.
I'll say it's been long enough since your trouble that if you want, you can probably concentrate and shrink down again. That is your choice. But it's been a few rounds since your trouble. So
Yeah, I'm not. I think she's at this point is like Vion said, not looking this gift horse in the mouth, and has potentially scared some people away. So she's gonna hang out like this until it becomes too difficult. For now, I guess. So she's just crouched down really big and like listening.
I would like to look the gift horse in the mouth, please. I'd like to fly up so that I can get a better angle on where they're running, and if possible, see what they might be running to.
I think seeing you do that, Benny will lift up and like turn her head so you're like
right.
Like
I think there's just that
different...
beat where we're at eye level, only I am small.
Flying and I'm crouching on the ground. Yeah. This is gonna be so ridiculous, you guys.
Yeah, Cadrax, you into the air, higher, higher, higher. Give me an intellect roll.
That's an 11.
From where you are at, you kind of rotate around, looking to see, where where they have gone, or what is around you that you can see. And off in the distance, in the direction of the valley that you just came from, you can see a spire of smoke rising into the sky. And on that, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Thank you so much, everybody. Stick around as we have the second of our new fan art reels. We cannot express how much we love the fan art, and we are super grateful for everybody that has produced it. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Enjoy the fan art. Hello. We are back from break, and I want to throw a shout out to Chandra, who is apparently the person who opened up all of the tiers today. We love you anyway, Chandra, but thank you so much for this. Yeah, super grateful, and Chandra's awesome. Follow them everywhere. And to keep things moving along, I am going to say, y'all pile into these stolen ships and head back towards the cave during the break. You fly through that crack in the rock, but
I'm able to get small, right? That's what I'm assuming here.
You are able to reset your size,
Okay.
and as you approach this crack in the rock, you can see that there is smoke just pouring out of it. And you fly the ship in, and inside the hangar, it is chaos. It is just full of smoke. As the ships land, you can see that there are a number of dead and injured keepers on the ground. The Ark has a massive hole in its side. There is twisted metal protruding from it in all directions. You get out of the ship. Dizeros gets a report from one of the keepers who was there, and he tells you, my friends, there was a Starquire infiltrator. We don't know how they found us. Perhaps they followed us from when our first ship arrived, but that is uncertain. They used a sonic explosive. The Ark's structural integrity has been compromised. Even under the best of circumstances, it will take months to fix.
What? This means that you cannot escape?
If we are to escape, we will need a new ship large enough to carry all of the survivors.
Does any such thing exist? I mean, I did not know that this existed. There has to be something. Please, tell me there is something else that we can use.
We are brainstorming. Do you have any thoughts?
Cadrax, the size of the, we are not quite very good with the terms, but there were 3 of your, of the Starquire people in power, and they all possessed rather large ships. We are trying to think of the title names.
Are you referring to
conductors nearby? Yes.
Conductors, correct. What is the size of their ship, and could it be reallocated for our purpose? Should we take down everybody aboard?
Dizeros kind of runs over to a computer and starts gathering information. You refer to the Starquire command ships.
Yes.
They are of a sufficient size.
Okay. Then we just need to, take one and pilot it for ourselves and take down a conductor.
What kind of influence does Blair have? I'll turn to Cadrax.
Not enough.
How much access does he have?
Enough.
Oh.
Can we get in contact with him? Do we know how to do that from here?
Safely.
I don't know where he is. Or how to
I
get in
do.
contact with him.
And when you all turn, I would like to have cast image on myself, and I would like to have turned into
God.
or not image. Sorry, actually, it's a different power.
It's
Yeah, we always mix the two up.
yeah.
Okay, it's
Is it illusion?
illusion.
No, actually.
No, this is the
it's, um,
transformy one.
it's
The shape
transform.
form.
Yeah, it's a
I would like to
Oh,
have
you're
transformed
actually-
into him all the way down to his thumbprint. I would have access to.
All right.
I'm assuming though it's things are probably locked with a voice. I kind of like the Cadrax. Human form isn't their technology is not going to be fitted to human forms.
Oh, good point. I do have his voice though. If I transform into him.
I meant
I could always
Mm,
make up the
yeah.
difference, and I'll mimic Blair's voice with that kind of like vibe that I think you feel physically when members of the choir talk to each other.
Oh.
Kind of like that deep buzz. Because I don't think the form can mimic other powers necessarily. That's a different thing.
Great point.
It can mimic his human
But you could put
voice, but
mimic for,
probably
like,
not his.
the power mimic thing.
No,
Mimic my power, like one slot to transform, one slot to voice.
I love the amount of involvement that you're putting towards me, but I think the Occam's razor of this all is I would like to drop my transformation and I would like to cast it upon you.
There we go. Yeah, that might be the.
And Nulex sort of pops to their feet from their crouched position and bops over to you. And Nulex says, We believe that we have a way to make this work.
Oh, we greet you. What news do you have?
We have been thinking about all the data that we have gathered since you have arrived, and the data that Dizeros gathered while you were at the school. If you four can take the ship, we can transport the surviving keepers to the ship. With that, and he points at your belt, Ulez.
Oh! Oh! Yes, I mean, you would have to amplify it quite a little bit, and wait until you actually crack it open and you get to investigate. The human connections and the wire sources that they use are incredibly fascinating, and the conductive powers for them and the way they can harness the Yes, no, this is a very good idea.
Perhaps we can analyze that wonderful teleportation technology together. Then, while you are securing the ship, we can reproduce the transporters at a larger scale.
Yes, let me just figure out how. Vion, could you assist? I've never had to unbuckle this.
Yeah,
Ulez,
absolutely.
Do me a favor. Give me an
Yes.
intellect roll. And you can
Intellect
apply...
to unbuckle my.
No. We're going to assume that you can unbuckle. Intellect roll, and you can apply your mechanics.
10, 11, 12. 12.
Okay. You and Nulex go to work analyzing the belt. You know, you don't have Molly or Terrence Darnell here, so you're kind of figuring everything out, but you were helping Molly upgrade the belt, so you have an actually pretty firm understanding of how it works yourself.
I like to
What are the-
imagine that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, you like to imagine what?
Oh, that Nulex has like some ancient civilization. We kind of apply like some of like their rules of physics to kind of figure out like what works and like what philosophies they had, like they believe that could be applied to some of the strategies that we're using to amplify this. Just silly keeper stuff.
Yep, they are absolutely contributing right along those lines. And what are the three of you doing? Vion, you wanted to cast transformation on Cadrax, right?
That's right.
All right, give me...
I might put out there that we have been trying to use Cadrax as Cadrax as well.
Yeah, I feel like we should keep our Eversinger.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
They've been.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been. Doing our secondary, voice voices as
the whole
themselves.
time, so
but
we don't even need
yeah.
to burn that spell slot. Yeah, okay.
So what do you?
Or I
wanna do?
suppose in character, what this is Cadrix is like, if it is agreeable to our tactics, I would like to confront the conductor as myself.
Absolutely, yeah. This is your play, Doc.
So how are you planning to confront the conductor? What are you doing? You going out there physically? You're going to try and radio them? What's happening?
Oh no, are we supposed to have a plan?
Hey, I got all night, or at least till 8 p.m. So
Well, we got a ship.
Yes.
Those two ships that we just dropped and were evacuated. Did we leave those were not flyable, right?
We flew them.
We did fly them?
yeah, you flew them back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, cuz I was going to
But
say
they
there's
aren't in wonderful shape
Yeah,
after
but I was gonna
what
say we
Vion
have-
did to
Not
them.
the best, yeah.
we at least have
they're-
those as like scrappable tech for whatever project they're
We could
about to do.
cannibalize
Yeah.
technology from them, certainly. I think taking the best ship up is our play. We will surely have to be in communications contact with them. But it is better for all of our powers to be closer to them rather than farther. So the closer they let us get, the more room to maneuver we will have if they decide to be hostile.
What if we flew up there, fake SOS our way in, get to the ship, and then just start powering our way through and chuck them out?
Good. Yes.
I was about to say, I love it whenever Omar opens his mouth, because when he's like, "What if we?" and just like the most, creative, weird ideas about to come out. And this time, of course, he's like, "What if we just kick their asses?"
Yeah. 4 Daleks. No.
Okay.
And a quick question, Doc. They'll all be on the ship. Sound has to travel through some sort of atmosphere, correct?
Yes, or
solid.
through some kind of medium. This is why we have the vocal cords.
Interesting. Okay.
If they could be tempted into atmosphere, of course, that would not be necessary. Air would be the medium of transmission, but conductor's ship is unlikely to go into atmosphere. That would take tremendous power at its mass.
What if we took all the air out of the ship?
It would dissipate into vacuum incredibly quickly.
I see.
I can walk through vacuum.
This is a pressure.
Yeah, you're right. No, that's a good
Equalization.
point. That's a good point. That's starting to mess with the equilibrium of the ship itself.
And so, in some way, we have to make contact in order to use voice, or for voice to be used against us. Again, if we can create a long-range weapon, then we could bombard them from relative safety.
Yeah. But we don't want to damage the ship too much, I guess. It's kind of also the struggle, isn't it?
How many do we know theoretically how many people are going to be on that ship?
Yeah.
Like how many people
Cadrax,
would man?
I think I
this
know
type
that.
of-
Yeah, you would probably know that. Let's say you would assume if it has a normal crew, the command ship is going to have at least probably 60 people on it.
Okay, but not as bad as I thought. I'm not gonna lie, not as bad as I thought.
It
Okay.
could have more, but
Yes.
that is a typical crew.
Likely they're going to be localized to the areas they work. I mean, if we targeted like a bridge, a place where they work on the ship itself, like an engine room, and like a
Unfortunately,
don't
Vion
know.
is right. Attempting to disable the ship might render it unusable. Therefore, I find myself amenable to his plan of...
I mean, getting into
Room by
those
room.
room, getting in there physically, but I don't know how we do that.
Hey, Cadrax, real quick. Let's do an experiment. I'm gonna phase. Blast me.
I do. It does nothing. I think that came up in like season 1 or 2.
I'm pretty sure I
season 1 or
remembered, but
2.
okay,
You
great.
kept
Yeah.
us from. Yeah, I think Sunny
Yep.
tried to blast, and you've
Well,
Okay.
well. What about a collection of space ghosts? What else can they do to us? Except for you, Doc. Obviously, it causes you pain, but you're kind of our heavy hitter right now in this situation. Otherwise, it would be Benny, who we should all kind of acknowledge is a, if there was big trouble, was the name of one of our villains. Massive Success might be your nickname.
Yeah, that was weird, right? That was not. That was
It was
weird to everyone
cool.
else, right? Okay.
It
cool,
was
yeah.
awesome.
There are many organisms throughout the galaxy that grow to multiples of their own size. It has not yet been observed in your species, but I'm happy to see you surpassing their limitations.
Yeah, thanks, Doc.
Reaching great heights, etc., etc. Okay. How do we make sure I don't do that inside of a ship in space?
Don't.
Pardon?
Don't.
I will try my hardest. Okay.
If something goes bad, I can try to cast nullification or something.
Cool.
But how about the three of us just ghost our way through the ship, fight the best way we can, and Doc, you just do what you do best.
Surgery or combat?
Oh, sorry. You know, a good point. Do one of the two things you do best, combat, but
This
with
is-
surgical, tacticality.
The precision, yeah.
Yeah.
Question-
Precision's the word I was looking for. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. The voice power, does it do physical damage? Is that like when someone uses their voice in combat, does it do physical damage on another
Yeah, it's
person?
not like a mental blast attack.
Okay. I figured, but I wanted to be sure
Yeah,
because
I think you could
it's a
stunt it to that
nebulous,
effect.
probably.
but
Yeah.
No,
Right.
standard is just physical.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna remind you of something, real quick, which is that just because you were specifically asking this out of Cadrax, you would probably remember at this point that when Curtis Haber was trying to teach you to use your own powers better, he showed that a phased person could be mentally attacked with a high-pitched frequency
Yeah.
that essentially, is like nails on a chalkboard cranked up to 11. So that at least is a way to get. I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
fairly
There's-
sure I am right
I
to
mean,
remind you.
Cadrax is you do the cast silence thing. You've done that before. Those two in combination might be our little
In
stealth.
combination, how? I'm not following.
If we're ghosted and you're using silence, that might protect us from physical and audio. I don't know if that'll cut it, but
Out of character mechanically, it would be a stunt because it'd effectively
That's fair.
be a nullification. It might be a complex task if
that's
it's
okay.
in response to a specific attack.
Mm.
But that sounds like functionally, depending on what's going on,
Yeah.
that could be a nullification. It kind of rides that line.
Yeah.
But I think
Okay.
we fly and we do things as we encounter problems. We adapt and overcome. When we encounter new problems, Benny turns into fire.
I'm down.
This is a great plan. The plan is we'll just make a plan up later. Great. I'm in.
I love everything about this. Since the moment Ulez of all people came up with the idea of stealing a Starquire command ship.
Grand Theft Auto.
It's so
Grand
much better
Theft
than my idea
spaceship.
of just destroying the whole fleet.
Yeah, that's
Just
a
to
very
make room. And then
Cadrax
there's
idea.
time to repair the arc. This was where Cadrax was going.
The
Well,
only thought
guess I have to fight everything.
The
Oh,
only
wow.
thought I had was to just get giant lava and just goad them until someone figured something out. So I feel like this is more of a plan than that is, even though there's really no plan. So I'm ready.
The biggest splat on a windshield ever.
I like
Mhm.
that stealing Starquire ships is becoming a motif. All right. So, Ulez, you are finishing up with Nulex. Based on your role, you feel that the two of you have developed a pretty good understanding, and with Keeper technology, which includes, things that are very much like 3D printers and stuff like that, should be able to fabricate some larger scale versions of the teleporter that you are fairly certain, but not 100% positive, are going to work at least to some extent.
Okay.
What are the four of you doing now?
Before we go, I'm going to
Yeah.
be smart about this for once. They blasted a hole in that ship. The escape ship, the Ark.
Correct.
We didn't even. Did we locate who did that? Like, did they just like damage and dip?
As
That's
far
what it
as
sounded like.
anyone can tell, yes.
Ugh.
It's like there was an
That's rude as
infiltrator who
hell.
set a bomb and then,
Ugh.
Infiltrator
disappeared.
set
Cowards.
off a. Well, that's something that we're gonna have to deal with.
How did they infiltrate? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bunch of Well, we have to go get a ship. Okay.
Well, could you see what happened, Vion?
Before we go,
Love us.
we're so good at remembering our power. We're too powerful now. We have too many things.
Come
We
on.
have
Some of
too
us
many
remember
things.
that there were important plot details. Some of us.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're too powerful. Champagne problems. Okay.
Yeah.
As you
Um,
say that, this is perfect because I have something else I'm gonna throw out in a second that's gonna have to do with that. But Vion's gonna like do like a little pantomime, like tip like a little hat and just kind of like saunter on over. And I'm definitely going to post cog. What happened? How
okay.
did this happen?
This is not too long in the past, so it should probably be pretty easy. Give
Yep.
me a postcog roll.
Great. So this is going to be 4 plus roll. Come on. Oh, that is a pumpkin blowing little hearts. So that's going to be a total of 10. It's the best I can do.
Okay, that is a moderate success, but your effort succeeds. I assume you were broadcasting this to everyone,
100%,
so it's kind of one of those, like, you all go into that Beyond Dream state, and you see, basically the scene as you left it earlier, all the keepers kind of working, getting the Ark together to leave. And then there is one keeper who sort of makes their way towards the ship. And as they get towards the ship, they kind of put like a small device on the side of it and set it. And then they sort of run for the front door towards, the entrance to the cave. And as they get there, you see them kind of take off their helmet. And underneath the helmet, it is a coral marine dressed as a keeper. And then the image ends.
That is blasphemous. To dress as a keeper of knowledge and then destroy that knowledge is
Inexcusable.
inexcusable is right. We must alert everyone else. They must know that there are infiltrators.
Before we do that, Ulez, I want to look around. Is that keeper still here? Or did that keeper dip?
Give me an intellect roll. You can add your investigatory bonuses. Anybody
Hell
else who
yeah.
wants to look around can do the same.
Yeah.
7 plus roll. That's going to be a total of 11.
11?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you beat with max at
Oh,
4.
okay.
I can do math. 12 and 2 is 14, yeah.
You have created an investigatory monster, Vion. Okay. Cadric?
May I use voice instead to listen for a hum? Choir wouldn't have it. Voice would.
Oh. Choir wouldn't have it. Voice would. I mean, keepers
Sorry,
wouldn't have it?
yes. Obviously, when I say choir, what I mean are keepers.
Yes. yeah.
Obviously. I mean,
Sure.
come on, Rick.
Obviously.
I
didn't mean to give
thought we
them-
all knew.
Didn't need them
Yeah.
both. Give them both K sounds to start with, or for
heck.
choir to rhyme
Yeah,
with
we're
spire.
stinkers.
Sometimes stuff just happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say you can give that a shot.
Oh, okay, cool. Excellent. 16.
16. You do not detect any coral marines in the area, and the two of you do not spot that keeper anywhere around.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You should probably do like a live check to make sure that everyone, it's like something that only keepers would know, maybe. It's like some sort of password to keep checking in on everybody.
That is a good idea. I will inform Dizeros. They are the most informed and they are the most capable of handling these situations. They have managed keepers and gatherers forever.
Mhm.
Have them vet everybody and then teach them all the like I don't know, like a thumbs up or something if they need to check in. Like,
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
That's for mendacity.
Which one is 2 thumbs up good or 1 thumbs up is
Two
fine?
was when you are lying?
Yeah, was 2 lying or was
Or was it
I thought
What
any
is-
time you were.
I don't remember.
Continuity. What?
Okay, so for our purposes, we'll figure that out on the flight.
Yeah.
For their purposes, let's just do 1 thumbs up.
Okay.
Okay.
What does 1 thumbs up mean?
They need
Good.
that
That's a
they've
secret
been
signal.
that
Okay,
they've been
this-
vetted and they know the secret code.
Okay.
I will go and
I don't
pass
know.
this information to Dizeros, and they will pass it along to the rest of the keepers.
And Dizeros tells you, takes the code and says,
One thumb. For those who do not have this thumb, this appendage, perhaps just a single digit should they possess it. And if they do not have a digit, any limb in the upwards direction will function for a 3-second count.
we will convey this message to all.
Oh my god, we should have taught the keepers shave and a haircut. And they have to finish it. Like that would have been
That's fine.
Why would you need both a shaven?
And Dizeros, before you walk away, says, I will collect parts of the newly fallen to take with us.
Please. Could I know we don't have. I cannot make these upgrades myself, but if there is a piece that you could return to me, it would be meaningful, for we feel slightly responsible and we would like to continue their existence.
And Dizeros looks around, and on the ground nearby, there is a fallen Ezra Latricombe, a different one than the one you met.
Oh, good.
And Dizeros walks over and picks up a small part of Esma's arm and gives it to you and says, installation of this will make you more philosophical.
Oh. They were always so thoughtful. We thank you.
We thank you, Ulas Galley. Enjoy the view from your ship, for it may be the last time you see Spire.
Please, be safe and exist well forever.
Exist well, Ulas Galley. And unless there's anything else you want to do, I'm going to say the 4 of you get into the ship.
Yeah.
Are you taking Sunny's ship, or are you taking one of the other ships that you took?
Sunny's in the best condition.
It also
Out of
could have a heavy
everything.
landing. No one's doing well.
Yeah. that's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one
Yeah,
just got
they-
scraped up. That's all.
They've all been a little beaten up, but I would say they're all probably in equal shape. If there's a difference between them, it's that Sunny's, as we established last episode, is not fully outfitted because it was not on an official mission.
That's true. Do we want to take one of theirs? It's a ship they recognize. We can take it up, but
Hmm.
I don't know if it's been reported as downed.
Exactly, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
They'll
recognize
we
Sunny's
should take
ship.
one of their ships
Yeah.
because if we take Sunny's ship, that definitely doesn't have a positive
Yeah.
IFF code. If we take one of the Marines' ship, there's at least a possibility that we
Yeah.
can get through.
Mhm. Good call.
Or we cannibalize the
Yes.
transponder. Either one.
Let's take one of their ships, and do y'all mind this being a little bit of a Vion plan?
Oh, we are very much on board for this.
I would love to explore this contradiction in terms.
Uh-huh.
Great. Yeah, it is kind of an oxymoron. Yeah, let's go.
And Ulas, give me a handling roll.
Yeah. Heckin' right. How is a 10 for you?
A 10 is great. You just right out the crack in the wall and straight up into the air as you head towards orbit. What do y'all want to do on the trip? Anything?
Oh, heck.
How long till we arrive? How much time do we have?
I mean, the speed that this ship moves is
It's like a couple minutes. Or
10.
like 20 minutes?
This ship basically goes as fast as you want it to. So,
Oh, okay.
how fast do you want to get there?
Okay.
Minutes, or do you want to, it's like
We want some time for prep, and so if it would normally take us 5 Earth minutes, maybe we'll make it take 15.
I
Sure.
mean,
okay.
The smallest amount of time means the fewest opportunities for them to see us coming.
That's
That's
true. We could
very
just
true.
zoom up.
I think we go in fast and, once you're inside the big ol' Imperial ship, you do other things in the closet or
Yeah.
whatever that turns out to be a garbage compactor,
Uh-huh.
per the documentary.
Yes,
Correct.
yeah.
True.
Is
All
this
right.
do we want to go up as fast as we can, on an SOS, let us in, so that it'll or what's the
I
how-
have that's the Vion planet.
that's the vamp. Got it. All right, then I'm
Oh.
strapped in, ready to go.
I would
You've
like
got
to.
about 3 minutes to explain your Vion plan.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't need 3 minutes. I would like to prepare duplication,
Duplication.
because I'm gonna do that with my small magic. It's gonna take a page of prep, so I'm just gonna do that on the ship.
Okay, give me a roll to turn on duplication.
Heck yes. This is 8 plus roll. That's gonna be a total of 10.
All right, total of 10. So it is on. Duplication can produce duplicates of you up to your power level and number.
Yep.
So you said you do this with the small magic? So
Yeah, but I'm
you
only
can
gonna
make 3
make
if you
2
want.
duplicates of Cadrax.
Mm.
Okay, 2 duplicates of Cadrax.
And they have your power
Take
sense.
the
I
energy
threw,
of
just so
truth.
you know, I threw the description in Discord.
Yes, I see it.
Duplicates
Thank
have
you.
the same abilities of you, except they lack the power. They can't duplicate themselves. Duplicates performing the same action together use rule for combined efforts. Duplicates do not have determination, but you can share your determination points with the duplicates. A dead or unconscious duplicate disappears. If you are incapacitated, all your duplicates disappear. Okay. You now have 3 Cadrax Eversingers. Count
We
them.
got a choir of our own over here. All right. Here's what I'm thinking, folks. We pull up. I'm gonna get on comms, or anyone can get on comms, but just to buy time, talk to them as we teleport into the ship.
Cadrax, as you were looking around, with that face, the other 2 Cadraxes are also looking around, just as sort of.
We're all
suspiciously.
trying to figure out which one of us would win in a fight. I guarantee you, we are sizing each other up. It's entirely academic. Or is
I
it?
buy it. So your ship approaches one of the command ships. Last episode, you did a search to figure out which of the command ships Commander Blair was on.
Yep.
Mhm.
Is that the ship you are headed for now?
May I do a fresh check?
How did we do this last time?
That's a
Ooh,
great question.
I think it was
I
a
think
tech
Ula's
check.
right.
I
Ula's
think
did
I
a
was
tech check.
scanning.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Commander Blair was on transmission with you, and you scanned.
Yes.
Right. So you don't have that transmission to trace right now.
This ship is one of their fleet. Would it
Yeah.
have manifests of the or
We
like
would have more information, if anything.
Have they
ship-
locked us out of the comms yet?
Give him a shot.
Have they hailed us? Yeah.
We're gonna hail them.
Let's just listen for their chatter, if nothing else.
Okay,
Great
that's
thinking.
safer.
listen in? Yeah.
Right, that might reveal a whole lot.
I'm going to say you listen to what you just get sort of is a lot of, ships asking for permission to dock, ships asking for permission to leave, ships radioing troop movements, things like that.
Can we make an intellect check on that? Because if a ship asks permission to dock,
Mhm.
and we see where things dock, we know which ship said that, and so on.
Okay, what is it you're trying to deduce?
Based on the chatter and the ship's movements, what we can infer about who's communicating to whom, and try to infer command structure.
Ooh, okay, give me an intellect roll.
Ooh, hey, max die. So that's a 12.
I would say, with a 12, you are certainly starting to pick up some useful information about command structure. That is probably a little cumbersome for me to, formulate into specifics right now. If there is something you are specifically looking for, can I find out where Commander Blair is? Do I know who the other conductors are? Stuff like that. I could say, you have not been able to determine which ship Commander Blair is on. You have figured out there is another conductor whose name is Tonus, Tonous, and there is another conductus whose name is Dulcetti.
Ooh.
And there is there is a lieutenant of the Coral Marines who is in charge of the ships, the smaller ships that sort of surround the command ships, and sort of the field lieutenant. And that field lieutenant's name is Sticatleon.
Oh, I'm not muted. I love this.
I recall a reference to Conductor Odom as being the one who engineered this in previous episode. Is there no reference to them, or
that conductor?
Because they could be back home.
Right. Well, that guy's. Let's see. What was his name? His name was.
I expect it to be incredibly punny.
Forget what his name is. It was Conductor Audon, right? Okay. Audon.
Still punny, yes.
You have heard Conductor Audon's name mentioned. You cannot pin down which ship he may be on.
All right. Okay, well, that means that we should simply look for a ship of adequate size.
Oh, I want the biggest
There are
one.
multiple conductors, there are multiple command figures, and we do not need, nor do I especially, feel equipped to disrupt the command structure. We just need the ship.
That is correct. I mean, perhaps I can double check the manifestos of the ships that the conductors are on. I understand that they might be locked behind some firewalls, but that's nothing that I can't break through.
Great. Well, let's hop on one of
So
the
we
ships.
just fly up to a big ship.
Yeah.
Let's fly up to one of the big
There's actually
ships.
no reason not to just fly up to a big ship. I can't
Yeah.
believe I didn't realize this.
Confirmed.
Like, we just need a big ship. We don't need any particular ship. We need
just
a big
ship.
one.
Okay,
I can buy us some time while everyone teleports on board.
What is your plan? You're going to teleport from your ship onto the main ship?
Yeah, I want to pull. What I imagine is a good plan is to pull up to a part of the ship that has a window, so we can see into where we're teleporting to.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Have windows?
Windows
are like a luxury.
I will say, a la the last scene of Empire Strikes Back, there is, some big observational windows that you can, sort of see dramatic vistas of the planets you're passing and stuff.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. That Empire music swells in the background. So you can see a visual of at least a small part of a hallway.
Great. Okay. Have we been hailed as we get this close? If not, and this is a little bit of a freebie, I'm not going to complain.
As long as you're asking, a hail is coming through.
Great. Okay, so before we answer it, let's start getting onto the ship, and then Ulaz, are you carrying everybody?
Oh, we can.
Great. And then I'll buy some time, and then just come back for me.
Understood.
Great. Yeah, this will work. Don't worry about it. I have a great idea.
Answering the hail, not answering the hail.
I'm gonna answer the hail really quickly.
Spacesuit.
we're teleporting and then
in space.
This is Sergeant Caterwalia of the Coral Marines. Identify yourself. I can't hear you.
Yes, that's the point.
Oh, you're doing it. Okay.
And I turn to everybody else. All right, go. We're good.
Your Zoom window's muted.
let me give you that teleport roll while Vion is miming.
This is a Vion plan.
Sergeant Caterwalia is trying to signal you that he can't hear, pointing you to... Can you hear me?
I turn it on and I turn it off like a couple times.
Can you hear Me.
Ulas, have you teleported everybody out?
So that's a total of 10 on the teleportation, and my dice was a 5.
So you bamf out and appear in that hallway. The hallway is empty for the moment, but you can kind of hear footsteps echoing all around in side hallways. What you see is like you were sort of in a long metal silver hallway. Cadrax, you've seen stuff like this 1,000 times. It is, spaceshipy looking, and you are in front of this window. There are side hallways kind of every so often. The hallway is very, very long.
All the communicators of Vion, we have arrived.
Okay, great. Can you come back and get me?
Oh, yes.
Let's
It's
give
gonna
me
look
another
like you're
teleportation
abducted by
roll.
a keeper.
I'm just afraid that I'm not going to make it at any point. Okay, we're good again. That's going to be an 11 to teleport and a 6 on the
Okay, so
I'm
you
pushing
bamf right back over to the ship.
Uh-huh.
And as you bamf in, you can see Vion like staring at the screen,
Yeah,
and this guy.
I've turned it
got a-
off when Ulas comes in. And then, okay, just give me 1 second. And
Okay.
I would like to cast okay, quickly out of game. Maybe we can, retroactively say that, we had this discussion. Cadrax, what would be an element what's the best way to blow up the ship?
We should not blow up the ship. We need it.
It's gonna be unmanned. Oh, you mean
Oh,
okay? No, I think
that ship.
Vian's talking about the little.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
I understand.
Destabilize the warp core?
Right. If you disrupt the coolant mechanism, there will be runaway heat exhaust almost immediately.
Okay, great. I would like to cast elemental control on the coolant.
Give me an elemental control roll.
This is going to be 8 plus roll.
Freaking all about cooling, y'all.
That's going to be an 11.
Okay, that'll turn it on.
Great. And if it's on, I can just use it, right?
Elemental control. Commands a particular element. Choose one. You can move that influence. You can move and influence that element like telekinesis at your power level. So this is like if there's fire in the room, you can control the fire.
Yeah, there's coolant in the room. I want to control the coolant.
Okay, so what element control? I guess that would be you're trying to control the coolant. Okay, so telekinesis. The ability to move objects in visual range without touching them. The powers level is treated as a strength for lifting and moving things. So you did this with what? 5 or 3? Big magic.
5 with 5.
All right. So you got to make a roll on your elemental control, which is level 5.
Yep.
To see how much you can move this stuff or affect it.
5 plus roll. That's going to be a total of 9.
Whoa. That is a marginal success based on the arbitrary number I assigned this seconds ago. I'm going to say what that means is you start a reaction, but it's very, very slow bubbling up.
Okay, that's totally fine. That's actually great. Okay, so Ulas, duck down real quick.
Okay.
And then I finally am able to click the comms back on as they're being hailed, and I'm jabbing the button or whatever mechanism it is, so I'm kind of like strobing in and out with my voice. But
and
I go,
you see Karawali is just like, "Can you hear you? Can you hear me?
You have a spy!" And I'm cutting it. We're teleporting out of there.
Give me a teleportation roll, Ulez. Wait, actually, first, Vion, give me a willpower roll.
Willpower. Oh yeah, that's fine. 3
pretty
plus
deception.
willpower. That's a total of 7.
Okay, and Ulez, give me a
performance. Can I
teleportation
put
roll.
performance on that?
Yes.
That had a
Total of 8. Okay, Ulez, give me your teleportation roll with a Odai.
Very nervous. That couldn't possibly be a 7 on my die. No, that's a 1. So that's a total, like, my teleportation's a beautiful 10, but my die is a 1.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're fine.
Where are they going?
your die goes off. You bamf away and you reappear in some strange hallway.
Oh no.
Cool.
Not
We're
the one
inside.
that was on the other side of this.
Oh.
And you don't necessarily even know which ship you're on.
Sick.
Oh, this is not where I had intended to go.
That's okay. Hey, we're somewhere else. Because that ship's about to blow. So as long as we're not on there,
Oh.
we're good.
Yes, confirmed.
Meanwhile, Cadrax, Benny, you are standing in the hallway, and Benny, you look over at Cadrax, who's kind of looking a little catatonic right now because Cadrax, you are hearing music.
Okay.
What are you
Yeah.
doing, Benny?
Well, this happens sometimes, so the most I can do is just kind of watch their backs. So I'm just looking out. I'm just if anyone walks by.
Give me an
I'm just-
awareness roll.
Well, no, okay.
Your awareness
Don't-
is 4, I think.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, that's a 5 total. That's
Okay.
a 1.
Meanwhile, what are you doing, Ulez and Vion?
It's time to sneaky sneak.
Oh, yes. I mean, I would like to sneak up to a control panel so I could download the schematics of the ship.
That sounds great. I'm gonna cast invisibility on you.
Oh, we thank you.
Big magic or little magic?
We'll do big magic for right now. Not to worry about anything.
All right,
Which is smart. 11 to turn it on.
that will turn it on.
Great, you're invisible.
Do you need to? No, you don't need to make a roll to.
I think it just comes on.
Yeah, it just comes on. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Ulez, you are now invisible.
Awesome. I just want to kind of waltz down the hallway and look for some kind of control panel. Not like a door control panel, but like one of like the really big ones, like ones with buttons that shouldn't be pressed. It's maybe like locked behind something.
Give me an investigation roll.
Yes. Good at that. How about an 11?
Okay. You start looking for a panel. Benny, you are kind of watching down the hall, listening to footsteps kind of all around you. Sometimes they seem like they're getting closer. Sometimes seem like they're getting further away. When
We're right by a window, right?
Yeah.
Is
Behind
Cadrax
you.
facing the window? Were we looking out the window at the ship?
Cadrax can be facing out the window, sure.
Cool.
Cadrax,
Excellent.
it's up to you. Are you facing out the window?
Sure.
Cool. Okay, continue. Sorry. I'm just trying to get a feel for what's going on.
So if that's the case, if you're facing out the window, there is no, behind you is a wall. So let's say off to your right, you start to hear footsteps. They get louder. They're coming closer. And suddenly you see 4 coral marines kind of walking towards you.
Cool.
They do not seem to have clocked you yet. It's a very long hallway, and they don't seem to be walking with, purpose. Like, they don't seem to be like, they're racing to get you. They're just kind of coming this way.
Fair. Are there any doors or other hallways near us?
Give me an investigation roll.
7?
You
Not bad for
can
me.
see there is a side hallway about 20 feet to your, let's say 50 feet to your left and
Ooh.
about 20 feet to your right.
I don't know if I can get them that far without being extremely conspicuous. I'm going to put myself on like the side of Cadrax that is in between them and the people who are walking. And I am going to cross my arms over my chest and stargaze with Cadrax.
Gonna try the old just acting inconspicuous?
Yeah.
Benny, make a willpower roll.
If I try to carry this person 50 feet down the hallway, there is no way that I'm not getting spotted. Jeez. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, that's bad. That is gonna be a 7. I rolled a 1.
7.
Mhm.
You do have 1 point of community determination if you want to use that, but
I mean, I have one too, but
do you?
I'm-
Oh, yeah, you do. Okay.
I'm sure
Yeah,
I'll
from your
get in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
No?
Fiercely loyal. I'm giving Cadrex their time to come back. Determination to reroll.
Okay. Reroll.
9. Not much better. And I'm done to 0
9.
determination.
Okay. 9 is a moderate success. So the Marines are walking by you, and they sort of stop.
I just like
Right.
saying like nothing's weird or wrong. I'm just like,
And sort of the one who's walking in front kind of looks at you, looks at Cadrex, and looks out the window.
Is that a problem? And there's this ship that's just listing 5 feet away from the window right now.
And he's, it's someone else's department. Not
Fair enough. And I
not
just
making
cross
my day any harder for it. And kind of punches you in the arm, and it's kind of,
I just nod with him.
starts walking away, and then he turns around and looks back at you and kind of shoots you this like glare, and he's like, you shouldn't be out of uniform.
Medical leave. These human bodies kind of suck. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I have. And he sort of starts walking down the hall, and you can sort of see that it's like, his walk is a little uncomfortable and stiff. And he keeps going.
That dude, I just want to say really quick, that dude's dope as hell. If we can save that dude.
That's my new best friend. Okay, God.
So,
I think after he passes and like he's gone in the hallway, I think Benny gets like a little bit of like, okay, and then she's gonna kind of like turn and kind of like rub on Cadrex's like upper arm just to kind of see if she can kind of get some awareness back in them.
okay, while you're doing that on the other ship, Ulez, you have found a control panel that is locked behind sort of like a,
Like when, like
in
workplaces when nobody wants you to change the temperature.
Yes, yeah, kind of like a big lucite case, that's got a key, sort of on it. But we'll say this is an electronic key.
Ooh. So on their little communicator, they're gonna whisper, Vion, we have located a location to interface with the ship. However, it is locked behind some device. If you walk around the hallway and then down 50 Earth feet, you will find me standing in front of the box. Walk quietly. So far, there is nobody around.
That's great. How is it locked?
Oh, it's electronic. Whoa! This technology is brilliant. To lock something of this way, wow, they are really expecting tampering. This is going to take. Oh, can I roll?
Give me an interface roll.
Okay.
By the way, it occurs to me that I just called this the other ship. I did not
Yeah.
necessarily mean to say that. But
Elsewhere, ...
Yeah,
comes
yeah, I
out.
kind of meant like
You-
elsewhere.
Don't worry.
Let's see what you find.
Great. The retention that we have.
On my interface, that is a 9.
A 9.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't do anything for that.
You are able to easily interface with the lock and
Ooh.
open the lock, and it pops open for you.
Oh, brilliant. I think I want to. And they're going to try and like rip it off, but they are not strong enough. It just like creaks a little bit. Like, okay, I'll come back for you. Okay, Vion, I am now interfacing with the ship. Let's see what I can do.
Give me an interface roll.
Oh, that's not my best roll of the night. 9 again.
A 9. Okay. It's a moderate success. So you are able to access it, but you are not able to access everything.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for, Ulez Galley?
Kind of want to figure out whose ship this is. Who's the conductor? How many people are on this? Can I get like a head count?
Okay, the
life
ship
forms
you
we
are
got?
on, that's all pretty low level information. The ship you are on, will say, has 80 Marines on it.
Great.
It is under the command of Conductor Dulcetti.
Okay.
Conductor Dulcetti answers to Conductor Audon. In fact, you can determine that all the conductors here answer to Conductor Audon.
Huh. Okay.
Sort of like the head conductor.
Yeah, if that was the Emperor, it's Audon.
Well, no, he's not in charge of the Star Choir. He's just
It's not like Palpatine. Okay.
he's the man
Like
on the
a
scene
think
here.
general.
Yeah.
Okay. Like
Yes,
General
he's
Grievous.
General Grievous, sure, or
Did
what's
Grievous
his
do
name?
anything? Sorry, this is a separate
He
conversation.
had a bunch of
Peter-
arms and then died.
Off.
Thinking more
but
about
was he a
Peter
general of
Cushing
anything?
from New Hope.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was he? He was name's right on the tip of my tongue. All right, never mind.
Yeah,
That-
he's also in Rogue One.
Yeah, that guy that Darth Vader,
Yeah.
Wait, is Peter Cushing? Peter Cushing's in Rogue One? Sorry, it is Peter Cushing in Rogue One, right?
yeah, right. Oh yeah, he's not the one who gets punched, but it's he's in that
The
scene
CGI,
where Darth
yeah.
Vader force pinches the guy.
I remember that. That was
Okay,
interesting.
great. I just wanted to
Admiral
make sure.
Tarkin.
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 Yes, thank you.
Hey.
That guy's
Don't-
not a chill
don't,
dude.
don't
Grade
tell
A.
any of my nerd friends I couldn't remember that.
I know, right? Isn't
Um,
that embarrassing?
Yeah,
We're gonna get red for that.
only seen that
Jeez.
movie 10,000 times. Okay,
All of which is
Um,
to say.
yeah, he's the Tarkin on the scene. He is the
Yeah, what?
the
hold on,
high-ranking
really?
officer on this scene, but he is not, in charge of the Star Choir by any means.
I'll walk up very
Mhm.
very quietly. I'm kind of back in my detective E mode where I'm sticking to the shadows,
Mhm.
very light-footed. And I kind of want to like stroll up to where Ulez is assumably present.
Give me a coordination roll.
You're gonna step on my
easily.
toes.
Coordination is 3 plus roll. That's gonna be a total of 8. It's not the
Okay.
best, but it's close.
You are sneaky enough to make it to Ulez.
I'll stop there and okay, well we should figure out if we're on the same ship as the other two.
Oh.
But I think we can figure out a way to figure out if we're on the same ship at the same time as executing a quick and efficient plan, Ulez, that's only just now popped into my head.
Oh, brilliant. We are ready.
You said that you're really good at pranks?
Yes. Well, back in our educational days, we were.
Yeah, we used to have a prank also back when I was a kid in school. And what we would do is we would pull the old fire alarm. Can you, with the computer system, set off an alarm that would be a mandatory evacuation of this ship?
Yes. My only concern is once that is investigated, the alarm would be suspended, and depending on the type of alarm, they might send Marines to investigate the site. What kind of alarm would work? Fire is not a very fires are easily extinguished.
Fires are easily extinguished. Also, fires sometimes dangerous. Maybe a poison gas?
Oh, biohazards are very scary. We wonder what would be the worst. Well, there is a signal for biohazard, general biohazards.
I mean, we're coming out of storage here. I mean, I can also either create a gas or turn into a gas. I would prefer to not do the latter. We've talked before with other folks about how that might be very scary to turn into a gas. And I might not have Benny's sense of control over non-solid forms. So,
Understood.
But-
That would perhaps be a brilliant idea.
Or
There are some ventilation systems above us. We're not entirely sure what kind of ventilation system it is, but I can breathe with my apparatuses.
and I assume I would still be in my spacesuit.
Yeah, I would assume you went to space. You probably put your suit on before you
Yeah.
went to orbit. Yeah.
I did say before we did teleportation that everyone who needs space protection should put a spacesuit on.
Yeah, that's right. But we are probably going to go a hair over here. Not too much though.
Because we got so many plans. Okay, if this is the idea that we're going with, I can, if you could give me a moment, I will start that alarm system. And if you have to reduce my invisibility, we understand.
No. You keep that. Your top priority.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay, so you are setting off a biohazard alarm.
Yeah, it's like the one where the lights flash green.
Sure. And Dion, what are you doing? Anything?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way to I'm trying to find one of my powers that I'd be able to just make a gas appear.
I mean, affliction could make an actual biohazard.
That's
Yeah.
literally the person we fought earlier
Yeah, I guess it depends. You
Use-
want to.
affliction.
I mean, and they all have people forms right now. Like, it's just, I mean, it's not. You could probably figure out something that would actually bother a human form. They might not know what actually bothers a human form entirely,
I
so you
love
could just trick
that.
them into it.
What do
I-
humans hate?
Well, if they're not wearing suits and I am, what if we sent out the common cold?
What is the name for that virus? It's got like such a silly fun name.
Rhinovirus.
Thank you.
If that is too much of a thing, that's literally releasing a disease out into a ship. That might be kind of a big swing. I can also just change like the pH level of the air by just a little bit, so enough to detect like to make it an irritant. I'll turn it to smoke. What am I talking about? Let me just make smoke happen. I'll make smoke
Yes,
happen.
I feel better about that. At first, I'm like, yeah, poison them with a airborne virus. But I'm like, no, that's really close to
'Cause
home.
the cold also is like not good.
Yeah.
It's like we're like, oh, common cold. I take my medicine that it's
People
on the commercial.
die
It's actually
from
bad.
that.
It's actually really bad.
If
Everyone,
they
get
don't
your
have-
flu shots.
Yeah,
real
y'all.
quick.
Okay.
Also, vaccines. And if you don't believe in that,
Please.
you're wrong. Get vaccines. It's science.
Wear
Great.
masks.
Not
So
to
we're
be political.
Sorry, Rick.
Yeah, smoke.
Smoke. I will make my interface to set off the alarm.
We're gonna smoke them out.
12.
12.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. And Vion, how are you making the smoke?
I'm gonna use affliction.
You are actually making a biohazard.
I'm actually making a biohazard.
Okay.
We're gonna sell this. It's gonna be smoky.
Well, okay. Is that how affliction works? Much like a disease or toxin, make a prowess to touch your target. Now, affliction is like an affliction touch. You can.
You could just start something on fire.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna make a fire.
Put a
We're gonna
fire
go
in a
old
vent or
school.
I'm
something.
gonna make a fire, but
Yeah, I
I'm
like the
gonna
vents
cast
on fire.
elemental control, and I'm gonna use the air to circulate the smoke around.
Okay. Give me. Well, elemental control would control an existing fire.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna have to set a fire.
You're gonna have to set a fire.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make a
Vion,
fire.
I really wanted to take apart this top panel.
Mhm.
I know we should probably be quick, but it is kind of connected by wires. And if you could rip it off and there are some of the exposed wires, if you put the blue one and the gold one together, it should create a spark. But I would really like the panel.
Yeah, we can spark. Let's spark it up. Let's get this panel. Let's
Thank
all
you.
everything
Can't
in one.
start a fire without a spark, as Bruce Springsteen might say. So,
I gotta jot that down for the playlist tomorrow.
I love those playlists. Everyone check out Vion's playlist. Okay, I mean, or Omar's playlist. He's not actually Vion. You know that. Okay. Well, all right. All right. So, what is this roll for? You are trying to start a fire by crossing these wires. You have already. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm trying to discern.
We have to yank out the panel.
Yeah, I was asking Vion for that. Ula's is too weak to even like pull out the panel.
Okay, Vion.
Mhm.
How are you going to yank out this panel?
I think it's gonna have to be brutal strength at this point.
Give me a strength roll.
Great. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, that is 5 plus my strength, which is 3. That's 8.
8. All right. This is like a little awkward. You kind of like, you're like pulling at it, you put your foot on the wall and trying to pry it and stuff. But like it's not really built to stand up to this kind of, I mean, nobody's expecting anyone to try and rip it out of the wall. So
Right.
after a few minutes, you are able to kind of just pry it back enough to get to what's behind it.
And according to my friend Ulas, there's a couple wires that are not essential to this panel functioning.
Ulez, give me an intellect roll.
Yeah. I'd like to think I learned a little bit of something from like scanning all of the data on Sunny's ships, and a lot of it was just mundane knowledge. That is going to be 6 plus 3 is 9.
Okay. Vion, you cross the wires, and there is just a cascade of sparks shoot out from the back. And suddenly it's like, they're like, a little bit of fire erupts on like a circuit board.
Great. We're in a storage space. Is there anything it's a spaceship. They don't have wood.
You have element control. Okay, I should.
Yeah, but for the air. The circuit's gonna burn only for so long. That's okay. I'm gonna cast elemental control. I'm gonna try to fan these flames as quickly as possible because I don't know how long this thing will go.
Big magic or little magic?
This one's gonna be. Let's go big magic. I'm sorry, Ulez, but I'm gonna take away your invisibility. I think we need to be seen in this moment.
Yes.
Great. 8+ roll. That is pumpkin blowing little hearts. So that's 14.
Okay. So now you gotta make an element control roll.
This is 5+,
which is at level 5.
5+, and that again, folks, is pumpkin blowing kisses. So that's 5 + 6.
Is that like a loaded die? Okay. So
I've been doing pretty badly all game.
It's just so charming. It has to blow kisses.
You blow up the flame, and suddenly, like, you've got it. It's like, that's it. You can keep the flame alive. You can make it jump around. With that kind of roll, you are in control of the fire. What do you want to do?
Let's set off the alarm.
Okay, Ulez, you made that roll before. It was a success. Suddenly, green lights start flashing in the hall. And Benny, you hear green lights start flashing in your hall as Kadrax, that sound snaps you back to reality.
Is that anything? What is that? What is that?
You were on the same ship this whole time. We had to rip off a panel to cause a fire. We could have just gone to you, Benny. This is ridiculous. I can't believe this. I was convinced we were on a different ship. All right. Hey, yeah, that's us.
Greetings. There's nothing to be alerted. That is a false alarm, but it's also a real alarm for the enemies.
We're back. We're getting
we're doing a fake same ship.
We pulled the fire alarm.
Hey, where you are, can you also cause a fire?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Give me some instruction. Where, how big, what should I do?
Just burn a thing that makes a lot of smoke, and I'll circulate the air all around.
Okay. I am not in a spacesuit because when I am lava, I can't exist in space. So she's gonna take off, I don't know, like a jacket or something. And then aura, localized hands.
Sorry, you might not have to turn anything. You can control fire, right?
Yes.
I got a fire here. If we can just find each other.
I can just do it.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
I could do both. Can I find a vent or something? I started a mop.
I will say is that there are vents, fairly regularly down this hallway. The whole ship is enclosed. Obviously, air has to be pumped around, things like that. So
okay, Kadrax, gonna give me a boost. Okay, I'm gonna yank the vent grate off. I'm going to stuff my jacket in through it, and as I do, I'm gonna start aura, all 8 power, localized hands, and just start my jacket on fire.
An aura power roll.
I don't think I need to. My hands just start on fire with aura. I have no more limit.
That is correct. Okay. You start to burn your jacket, but your jacket, as you may remember from way back in the day,
that's
is
right.
a fireproof jacket.
What else am I wearing?
You can burn very hot. So you just keep cranking up that aura, and your fire goes from orange to blue to white, like just through all those, flame levels. And finally, even fireproof material has its give point. And when it does finally give, it is just the most toxic, stinky kind of smoke. It just blasts in your face. You kind of fall back out of Kadrax's hands, but the smoking jacket is stuck up in the vent.
Cool. Smoke inhalation's still not great, but got it.
I turn to Ulez. I don't have to touch my ear for this. Next time, I have to remember, whatever Benny's powers are, I can just do that.
Oh, yes, I could have reminded you of that as well. We were very focused on acquiring this panel. The security on it is incredible. We are very excited to show Dizeros, but yes.
Yeah, no, stealing's more fun anyway, so I'm not, no complaints.
Stealing. Borrowing?
Are we gonna give this back?
No.
Yeah. So I'm using the air to just blast all the smoke from over where you all are. I mean, I'm hyper circulating the air. So smoke is now just spreading through the ship. And then also,
Yeah.
can I ask a quick question, Rick?
Yeah.
Sunny's ship, has that gone off yet?
It's not Sunny ship. It's the
Oh,
It's one of
sorry, the other
stolen
ship.
ships.
One of the stolen
No,
ships.
it has not yet.
Great. Hey, good to know. That thing is a ticking time bomb. All right, great. Anyway, air circulation.
Smoke is starting to fill the hallways. You can hear people running around. The two of you in the hallway, Marines, are kind of just running past you left and right, kind of not stopping to notice because everybody is now, find the leak, find the source, kind of trying to figure out what is going on.
I turn to Cadrax and say, where are we headed? Where should we go now?
We need to facilitate this into an evacuation order. We need to get them into escape pods and off the ship. Well, into runabouts.
You got that, Ulez? Think you can manage that shipwide announcement?
Oh, yes.
Or at least just a notice?
Yes, we will, and we will do our best to acquire voice impersonation.
Oh, I assume like a on all monitors evacuate, the ship.
Oh, that is well within our capabilities. Yes.
Ulez, give me an interface roll.
Yeah. One day I'll up that. Oh, heck yes. 12.
And there is an automated evacuation message, just sort of pre-recorded for just such an emergency.
Please go down to the evacuation room. Your escape pods will be ready upon your arrival.
It sounds exactly like that.
That is so good.
That was amazing.
What?
Wow, I'm totally hiring you, B, to record my evacuation message. for my ship.
Clip that. That's your reel for VO. That was so good.
So yeah, you can just see Marines running left, right, everyone trying to scramble to grab what they need and head towards evacuation pods. What do y'all want to do now?
I'm going to, just because I have fire control and there's a fire near me, I'm just going to stop. It'll keep smoking, but we need this ship. So the fire near me, I'm just going to put out so that it keeps smoking.
All right, you quelch out the fire. And when that happens, you hear behind you, someone's like, "Hey, how did you do that?" And you turn.
Oh, I thought it was inside the vent.
I mean, it is,
Okay.
but as it sees sees you kind of bring down the smoke, and just all of a sudden it stops. A space marine kind of stops and kind of looks at you, and is sort of just like, "What is your designation number?"
I turned to Cadrax.
It's not the time nor the place, Marine. You can hear the evacuation order. Proceed, and we can teach you in the techniques of air pressurization with your voice at some later time.
Give me a willpower roll.
Oh, this is really good. Come on, Cadrax, that was really good.
It was a 3 on the die. That's a 6. I mean,
Average.
And he's
Yep.
like,
It's
It's
chaos.
average.
It's chaos. Maybe he's scared. Maybe it's okay.
he pulls his sonic handgun and he points it at the two of you, and he's like, "I think we need to talk to a lieutenant."
Can I turn into
And-
lava now? I turned into Cadrax.
You gonna try and turn into
Yes.
lava?
I'll
No, I'm
blast the
asking. I'm
communicator
asking.
as he does
I'm
that.
asking permission
As,
from
as she
Cadrax.
starts to, I say yes. As
Okay.
she
Immediate.
starts to turn, I'm gonna disable communicator.
Roll initiative, Cadrax.
8.
Should I also roll an initiative?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 9.
Benny, what's your coordination?
4.
Okay, Benny, you go first. The Coral Marine goes second, then Cadrax.
Okay. Do I turn to lava off my turn, or is that my turn? Because I declared it before initiative. It's up to you. I don't. Either way is fine with
I
me.
would say that's probably your turn because
Okay,
it
cool.
takes, the whole point is that it takes a little time.
it's just my whole. It's I have to take a whole action to do it. I can't do anything else. But I didn't know if it was when I declared on initiative.
The Coral Marine raises his sonic pistol, points it at Cadrax, and right as he is about to pull the trigger, right outside the window, the ship explodes. And he just turns, forfeiting his turn. Cadrax, it's yours.
Oh yeah, all right. I'll make a complex task roll now.
Yes.
What are you
That was
trying
so
to do?
good.
Disable his communicator. We're gonna just 2v1 this kid. He doesn't get to ask for help. Oh, that poor scrub. All right, 15.
Easily, you don't just disable his communicator. It's like, you flatten that thing. It's just like, and that brings up Benny.
What's he doing?
I mean, this is all happening very quickly. So it's like, he turns his head, looks at the explosion, is like, what the hell? Cadrax flattens his communicator.
Does he have the gun up? Is that what he had a blaster up or something?
He was kind of holding it up, but now he is distracted.
Oh, okay. I would just stand in front of the blaster. I just walk up to him and stand in front of the blaster while he's looking out the window and crush it with my lava hands.
Okay, give me crush it with your lava hands.
Yeah.
Give me an aura roll.
Okay. Sorry, I should have declared. I'm always 1 aura of 7 magma when I magma on.
Okay, 1 aura 7 magma. Okay, then give me a magma roll, fluid form. What Caitlin is referring to there is that when she uses her secondary power, she has to allocate the 8 points she has in aura between those secondary powers. So since fluid form is a secondary power of aura, she has to keep her aura on, which sucks up one of those level powers, and then the other 7 she can put into the secondary powers. Kind of like a battery powering several things at once. So what'd you get?
That is going to be a 12.
Oh, easily. The sonic pistol just melts right in his hand.
And I'm like directly in front of him, just like. No.
And he faints.
Oh, that works.
Can I, at this point, suggest to Ulez, since we're on the same ship, Ulez, can you teleport us to where we were originally, since you did get a view of it, since you teleported there to begin with? You can only teleport to places you can see in your mind, but you did see the landing bay.
Uh-huh.
So can we just rejoin our friends?
I think that is correct.
Well, just give me a teleportation roll.
Hopefully this time it works.
Oh my god, what if we go somewhere else?
Barely.
I
That's
love
a
it.
3 on the auto die.
All good.
Does my teleportation go off though? 5, 6,
What'd you
7,
get?
8. 8 on my teleportation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Teleportation, the way that works is...
Because if I fail,
you
we just get stunned for a page.
Right, if you fail, you just get stunned for a page. But you make it.
Okay.
Do we get there right when the guy faints?
You get there like a second later, and you show up to find a fainted Starquire Marine on the ground. Benny standing over him, holding a melted sonic pistol,
Letting it drip
And this
off
is why
of her
they're
hands on
not
the floor.
inducted into the Order of Harmony as knights.
Ah.
Yeah, good to
You
know.
know-
Oh, hi.
Oh, we greet you.
Doc, we didn't really have a reference point when we first met you and got to know you, but having met quite a few individuals that represent your society, you truly are extraordinary. Like, amongst us, you're extraordinary, but hanging out with a lot of these folks, you really stand out.
We need to take bridge control.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead.
Their face has a strong vasodilatory effect.
Yeah, it has that effect, Rick.
you are
It's
so
an
affected.
extra. It's a.
So, okay, you're headed to the bridge, or what are you doing?
Yeah.
To the bridge.
Yeah.
How you going to the bridge? Foot, teleportation? What are we doing here?
I haven't seen the bridge.
Yeah,
You haven't
and you
seen
have
the
you
bridge.
have a map in your brain from that you downloaded, so we can
Yeah,
just
so
go
we can
there.
walk.
Ulez, yeah, give me an intellect roll.
Okay. 9.
Okay, from some of the information when you were processing what ship you were on and who was in charge and stuff like that, you can now see that you were on a secondary vessel that is tethered to this command ship, a much smaller ship. Not quite as small as like the fighters that you captured, but it was, kind of like a mid-sized vessel that is kind of like docked, and attached to the command ship. That's where you were before.
Okay.
But since it was tethered, you were able to analyze the ship. That's how you found out who was in charge. And you are able to know the location of the bridge on this ship, although you have not seen it with your, you don't know what it looks like.
I can guide us to the bridge.
But is it? Sorry, just to clarify, is it on
Yeah.
a different ship, or are we on the main ship? Are we on small?
No,
ship,
you
big ship?
you are now on the main ship. When
Okay.
you
Your first
teleported and wound
location
up,
was
when I said like you were on but now on the other ship, it's like you were on another ship, but it's like that is a ship that was docked
Oh.
on this ship.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so we got 2 fires started. Also interesting.
this fires. You did put the fire out before you left, right?
No, we did not.
Mm-mm.
That's okay. Well, we'll deal with that later. Hopefully,
Hey,
someone
yeah.
else over there knows how to put out a fire. Wow, we gotta
They're
go.
evacuating.
Okay, Betty, listen. It's fine. It's
Is it?
totally
We're
fine.
trying to not destroy the ship. We just needed it evacuated.
That's a small ship. We don't care. I don't care about the small ship. Do we care about the small ship? Do we want the small ship?
It's connected to the big
walk.
ship.
Please walk and talk.
Yeah, we're walking.
thank you.
We're walking frantic.
And as we we're arguing, but as we cross like Marines going past, we kind of just like get back into form, and then no, it's fine. We can just get rid of the little
Ulas
ship.
hides between the 3 of
Do
you.
you know how to do that? Because I don't know how to do that.
Undock. We stole a panel. We can do whatever we want on this ship.
Tonight's performance, the part of Dale Kingsmill, will be played by Caitlin Gruder. Okay,
He should be
so
so lucky.
The best compliment
everybody
I've ever
give me
gotten in my entire life.
coordination.
Okay.
Oh no.
9.
Okay,
9.
Cadrax?
8.
8.
7.
7. Okay. You all are able to make your way through the halls. Vion, you catch some weird looks, but these Marines are just way too concerned with their top priority right now.
Great.
Oh yeah, I would
Um,
have before we started moving through the halls, I would have people formed again. I don't think Benny
Good
would
to
walk around
clarify.
as lava right now.
And
it's
if-
trying to be discreet.
And
Yeah,
if someone,
I kind of
yeah.
forgot you were, so yeah, I'll just give you credit for that.
Okay.
And if someone stares at me, I am 100% just grabbing them on the shoulder and being like, "Go!"
it takes a few minutes, but you make your way to the bridge. You now are at a hallway just outside of the bridge. You look ahead of yourself and you can kind of see a whole bunch of, Marines in there kind of shouting at each other, about, searches, fire containment, biohazard containment. It sounds like there's a whole lot of confusion going on.
Is there a panel that Ulas can get to check the current evacuation status? How many people have been
Ulez,
evacuated?
or whoever wants to
Yeah.
look for it, give me an intellect roll.
I will say ideas out loud. I will not follow through on them because I can't.
Oh no, Benny, that is a brilliant idea. I will also look with an
9.
11.
Oh, please.
9.
And 11.
11. Ulas got 11.
There is, I will say, an unsecured panel, not behind one of those, lucite thermometer protectors, that is very close to the door to the bridge, or like you were at the hall,
Yeah.
you can see into it. So just like, very close to, you would have to edge very close to being seen.
How many people are on the bridge right now?
You can see about 4, but you
Oh,
can
okay.
hear the voices of, more people. Kind of hard to count. You can make an intellect roll to try and figure it out, but certainly more than 4.
Okay.
Can Ulas be invisible again? Or are you using...
I'm going to investigate to see how many people are remaining on the ship, like those who haven't evacuated yet. For a 10.
Okay. You can see that the evacuation is about 70% underway. It is going very fast. These are highly trained military people. It's like when a commander gives an order to evacuate, it's like, this is not like evacuating a cruise ship where people run around in circles panicking. It's like, these soldiers know what to do.
Is
They
there
gain
like
efficiency from lacking any significant training in critical thought. Yes.
is there any protocols inside like listed on like the ship that are like is anyone required to stay behind? Is someone supposed to make sure everyone got off? Like what should we be like expecting as the evacuation finishes?
That's a Cadrax.
Cadrax, you would know that, in the way the captain goes down with his ship, the bridge crew, when the evacuation is complete, will seal the bridge against any contaminants and stay inside.
Okay. Yeah. They'll need to seal the bridge because then one can simply vent the atmosphere for this particular kind of issue.
So we want to clear the bridge.
What if they couldn't? And I would like a trail of like 2 trails of smoke to kind of just like blow past us into the bridge.
How are you doing that?
Element control still on.
Oh, not exactly near the fire right now. What do you element control? Yeah.
Air or wind or whatever it was.
Okay, yeah. Like, give me a roll to turn on element control of air.
Is it already on still?
I already have it on for
Yeah,
air.
it's been
Oh,
on.
you already have it on. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I just use
sorry.
it for air to fan the flames and get the smoke up.
All right, then in that case, give me an element control roll to see if you can move the air like that. So it's what is it? It's on 5?
Yeah, 5.
Okay.
A 9.
Okay. It takes a few minutes, but you are able to start channeling the smoke up this
That
hall.
makes sense. Big ship, yeah.
And it comes up behind you, and then
Are
you
they gonna
push it onto the bridge. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna push it into the bridge.
Okay.
are they gonna
and-
seal it immediately when that happens? Is my concern.
Well, good luck to them because it's not going anywhere.
And the smoke starts to push its way onto the bridge, and you can hear, it's like, masks.
Oh, they have
And-
masks.
All right, we will defeat them.
Should I?
Can we enter within the smoke? Like the smoke is now coming in. I'm pulling it from like other parts of the ship. The smoke is now coming in, and it's viscous enough that we can sort of like.
Screw it, we have a smoke bomb.
Give me a coordination roll.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
We
yeah,
could
you have
just throw a
bomb.
smoke bomb in there. I would like to, if we are planning on breaching the bridge, I would like to be lava first. Yeah, 7 and 1. Or a 1.
Okay.
Magma 7.
Remind me of that if it comes up.
Yep, got it.
I am gonna quickly turn to Ulez and say, maybe we should do a workshop with Cadrax about plans because we did have smoke to begin with.
Aha.
I mean,
I-
it was more fun what we did, but I'm just saying
Always.
maybe at
Hmm.
when we're back, maybe just a little weekend retreat where we talk about planning.
Oh,
I roll it in. The smoke.
All right. Now the smoke bomb is like -1 to site baked task. Is that the deal?
I think that's what we
I
had.
thought it was 2, but whatever.
-2 to site baked task. Okay, I'll say -2.
Whole time we made an electrical fire. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so between the smoke bomb and the smoke that Vion channeled on, it is just super smoky on that bridge right now. So if the 4 of you, I won't even make you roll coordination, you can slip on and sort of have the benefit of surprise.
All right, this is our moment.
So anyway, I started blasting.
You're on the left,
Cadrax,
you take the ones on the left.
you step on, it is as hard for you to see as it is for anybody else on there, so you can't exactly count how many people there are, but you can definitely see shapes running around in the smoke. It is also very smoky in there. It's a little hard for everyone to breathe who's not wearing a mask. Cadrax, give me a blast roll.
No
Harmonic
matter how
resonance.
many are in there first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. 11.
11. Okay. You fire off your burst, and you can just, the ones you can see, boom, knocked right off their feet. And you can hear a couple of others that you can't see knocked off their feet who are within range of your burst. It was an 11. Okay. you definitely get the feeling you dealt damage to everybody affected.
Nice.
The rest of you roll initiative.
Okay. 5.
Where does initiative come out of again? I feel like I never rolled this.
Coordination.
Coordination.
Oh, okay. 7.
Same 7.
Also 7.
Oh, Jesus.
Ding
Disappointing
ding
the
ding
crew.
ding ding.
So that is Ulez goes first. Kadrax goes second. Vion goes third. Benny goes fourth. And the Marines go after Benny. So Ulez, you're first.
So like the brilliant individual I am, we duck low and we run away from combat.
Yeah.
Ulez, take a point of determination.
We're going right to that console, right to the main
Big guy.
buttons area.
Oh, this is not a trouble. You are just strategically operating.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
It's still
now-
pretty darn naive. Come on.
They
Well,
are running
if-
directly into the center of all of the combatants in this room to get to
Yeah,
the
but
center
you're doing it
console.
for a strategic
That's fair,
purpose,
yeah.
so it's not a trouble. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Darn.
you
Okay.
get to the console. What do you want to do? Because movement is free.
Control this ship. I want access to it.
Give me an interface roll.
Yeah. Oh no. 10? I can't add anything to that.
You interface with the ship and you start negotiating with the computer host, and you don't have
Can I
access
send
to quite everything just yet, but you
Okay.
are working on it. Kadrax.
So anyway,
Give me your blast roll.
16.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
16.
I went from min die to max die.
All right, that is a massive success. So you just fire off this major blast that just rocks the bridge, and suddenly everything goes silent. Everybody in range of your blast is knocked unconscious.
Where are the escape pods from here?
There are only a
Um,
couple. They would be fairly far from the ship. The evacuees are presumably on a runabout. Remember, one of the things about the choir is we don't really do a whole lot of escape pods.
Yeah, that's fair. So are we going to leave these guys planet side then when we dock down?
That would be merciful.
Your call.
Not my call. Ulas?
Oh, yeah, I think they could perhaps stay on the remnants of Spire since we will have taken all of the information that resides on my planet.
I
Let's see.
stand over one of them unconscious, kick it a bit. Remember, they had mercy.
the bridge is yours. What do you want to do?
Pilot it down to Spire.
Can we make sure all of the
You
evacuation is
cannot
happening?
land this. You cannot
Oh,
take
okay.
this ship into the atmosphere. That is out of the question. I'm just going to tell you that. You will destroy
Oh,
it.
okay.
The
Okay.
ship is not meant to enter atmospheres.
Well then,
Should we? Okay, I think maybe then we check we watch the evacuation progress. Once it's fully evacuated, lock the ship down, and then contact the evacuees and tell them that we're ready to accept them.
yeah,
Okay.
let's get them teleported up here.
Keep things moving. I'm going to say the evacuation process continues because nobody stops it because you are in charge of the ship.
Mhm.
And you send the signal to Dizeros.
Mhm.
Dizeros he's taken this time with Nulex to create some much larger teleporters based on Molly Darnell's technology. since it was based on your ideas, Ulez, give me a teleport roll to see how well it works.
Do I have to do an uh-oh die? Probably.
It's
I feel
not
like
a power though. This is a different gadget.
You do not have to do an
Okay.
uh-oh die because Nulex Fakava has
Whew.
done some tinkering of their own.
Okay, Ulex is smart. They got wacky ideas, and I support all of them. Okay, so this is an 11 on its own. I'm wondering if this is the moment for that community
Yes.
determination.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, I mean, see, this isn't even strangely protective. This would be the right kind of protective.
Yeah, easily protective. I'm happy to accept that.
Okay.
So you're bringing that up to 13. You're going to do
Correct.
+2.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to say, Ulez, 95% of the keepers make it. 5% are lost in transit, but you have still brought thousands and thousands and thousands to the ship, each of which represent parts and components of thousands more. So in total, millions of keepers essentially escaping, plus all of the ones that uploaded their consciousnesses come to.
Yeah. Did our Dizeros and our Nulex arrive?
In fact, they did.
Yay.
And Dizeros joins you on the bridge. And I will say that Dizeros uses one of the teleporters that he has fabricated to transport the rest of the bridge crew to one of the other command ships.
Okay.
And
We real quick, so everyone's up in the ship. We
Mhm.
dumped the folks from the bridge down planet side, is that right?
I think
To
it's
another ship. Is
to
what
another ship.
you
another
said.
ship.
Oh, we popped them onto another ship?
Or
That's what
Dizeros did.
did,
Well,
but
you know
okay.
what? Where do you want to put them? He puts them wherever you want.
We could
Yeah.
wrap them up with a little note and teleport them to somebody else's ship.
Well, I was gonna something similar to that, but it depends on where we're dropping them off, I suppose.
Where do you want to drop them off?
I mean, leaving them marooned is pretty cinematic. I mean, they're gonna get picked up anyway. It's not. We didn't wipe
Yeah.
out the fleet. We only took one ship, so they
Yeah.
can pretty easily, and we can leave like a beacon or something for them. But like, my vote is dropping them planet side.
Yeah, somewhere like, I mean, there's not a lot of like bad places on Spire. We don't have a lot of animals because there's not like.
Leave them in the smoking
You have
craters
animals.
they created.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Done.
And then can I add on top of that then, when they wake up, there is an image that is being cast for when they wake up that has been playing on loop until they wake up. And it is whatever message you would like to leave for them, Cadrax.
Your will was cruel, and it made your song discordant. Reflect until you can return to harmony. This is the word of Cadrax Eversinger.
It's a bit of a stretch of your magic ability, but I will let it slide because it's rule of cool. And Dizeros comes to you, Ulez, and says, "You are a keeper. This is now your arc too. Would you like to rejoin the collective and come with us?"
Oh. Oh. Perhaps we could give you our knowledge and then go back and collect more. We are not quite ready to return, though we have greatly missed the feeling of community, the feeling of all of the keepers as together as we can be, all things considered, but our journey is not yet over, and we want to keep collecting information and making friends and helping. We have found purpose in helping. We worry that we have evolved beyond my prime directive, but we just want to discover more.
And Dizeros sort of nods and kind of, you catch an expression on his face when you mention your prime directive, and He says, we thought you might say that 853-942-5544. Our inquiry into your history has revealed that you have always shown a higher propensity for curiosity than other Ulez galleys. It has long been expected that this characteristic would eventually compel you to violate your prime directive.
Oh.
You may recall several of your instructors alluding to such in your school days. At the time, it was believed to be a negative quality, but now it is apparent your curiosity has led you to a team that has saved us all. We will have to reevaluate our prior conclusions. And we wish you luck, Ulez Galley. Exist well.
Yes. Oh, Dizeros, before you go, we have learned a rather endearing tradition on Earth where we make promises, and by a union of the tiniest fingers on our hands, we clasp them and we share that wish for each other. Would you like to swear upon your pinky?
Kind of looks at their pinky and they show me.
Yes. And they wrap their pinky around Dizeros.
We swear that we will continue to protect the keepers, and though Spire no longer exists, we will continue to collect all of the information of the universe for good. We promise this.
We look forward to interviewing you about this tradition at a future time when we are both safe.
Yes.
And Dizeros takes control of the ship, and he offers you that other ship that was docked in it for yourselves. And to keep things moving along, I'm going to say, Ulez, you take control of that ship, and your ship separates. And you see the command ship power up, and it shoots towards the wormhole. But as it gets close to the wormhole, a whole bunch of Starquire ships behind one of the other command ships starts following it. It's very far away from you now. There is obviously, I can see, a wave of panic and well-deserved. The Starquire ships, they start to fire at it. And then you hear a voice over the comms. Any vessel that fires on those keepers will be destroyed. And then you hear, this is Lieutenant Stacatlion of the Coral Marines? Who the hell is this? Lieutenant, you should watch your tone when you are speaking to a general. And your screen comes on, and you see the image of General Zoll behind the controls of his ship. And Tulez pops out from behind him and says, "We greet you." And that ship, which is much larger than any of the Starquire ships, just starts spinning through them, knocking them out of space. And the command ship disappears into the wormhole. As General Zoll looks at you and says, Tulez here received the SOS signal several days ago, but we were far from Spire. I'm sorry we're late.
We are very grateful for your arrival. We thank you and we greet you.
We greet you, Ulez Galley. We wish we had time for an exchange, but we are going to follow the Keepers and make sure that nobody else does. We will meet again.
Yes.
And their ship flies around and disappears into the wormhole behind the Keepers. As you are all catching your breath, because this is a lot to take in, you haven't seen the Alien Strike Force in a while. Your screen comes to life again, and you see Commander Blair, played by Michael B. Jordan. And he says, Cadrax, are you there?
Sir?
And he kind of takes a deep breath, shakes his head, doesn't look very happy, and he says, Cadrax, your actions here on Spire constitute a crime. You interfered with a Star Choir military operation. I have been ordered by Conductor Audon to take you into custody and return you to Beta Pixidus to stand trial. I don't know if I could take you against your will, but I don't want to find out. You're the Eversinger. I think I believe that now. There is a chance for you here to stand before the conductors and the composers and the Knights of Harmony and tell them all your story, to show them the Eversinger's way. You are the voice of Phonos, and the choir needs to hear that. And you have a responsibility to let them hear it. Your friends can come. They aren't Star Choir, and they're not wanted, and I give you my word, as a commander, they are in no danger. I cannot promise the same for you, but you are a soldier, and you've risked your life to save alien people on faraway planets, and now I ask you to risk your life to save your own people. Cadrax, as he speaks, you hear the familiar tune of the choir beyond in your head, the one you've occasionally heard since your first resurrection, only this time it's not distracting. It brings you focus and a feeling of purpose. And Commander Blair says, what say you, Eversinger? Will you come with me?
Thank you, Commander, for your words bring me hope for the choir as a whole. If you can be turned toward this way. May whatever I offer and the support at my back help sway others as well. I await your pickup.
You know what? I think we're going to leave off right there. Join us next week for the trial of Cadrax Eversinger.
Okay, cool.
I am sorry we went so far over, but this was just too good to cut short. I love you. I love these players, and y'all were just killing it all night. Thank you so much. Real quick, go around the table. Tell the good people where they can find you, starting with B. Zelda.
Whew. Hello. I have been your non-binary Busy Bee. You can find me on Twitter as @B_Zelda. What I do stuff sometimes. I mostly just think about my existential existence in space and what that means, and like the keepers. Like, how am I gonna sleep at night? I don't know. But if you want to ramble with me online, yeah, follow me on Twitter.
Omar Najam.
Hey everyone, I'm Omar. You can find me at Omar Najam on Twitter and Omar Najam Film on Instagram if you are so inclined. It's just pictures of me in different sweaters. I also just had I post a playlist inspired by every episode on the following Monday, so check that out on our Discord, on the QueueTimes Discord, in the Power Play channel. And also, you know, after this episode and the last episode, and because of some of the wonderful folks in our community, I got to thinking I'm a huge library kid. Like, was absolutely like I spent all my summers in libraries and stuff, and we just spent, you know, a couple episodes saving some knowledge and, you know, trying to save some libraries. So if you could for this next week use #PowerPlayRPG on Twitter or whatever socials you choose, share your favorite library memory or like library find or like a picture of like a library, like maybe you bought like from Friends of Library or something like that. Let's geek out together a little bit about this. Let's do some library talk. So that's it. That's all my stuff. My stuff is asking you to do more stuff. That's it.
Oh my God. Going to prepare my chain of tweets about the librarian who introduced me to the Westing game. All right. Caitlin Bruder.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Bruder. You can find me on Twitter at KKAMABR. I'm here on Sundays. Wednesday, there's no Infinite Horizon this week, and there won't be anymore until the new year because starting on December 1st, we are starting our Cyberpunk Red 3-shot. That's going to be really fun. The cast just got announced. The art's coming out next week, so keep an eye on that. It's going to be really fun. And also on Twitter, I'm writing a game and I'm trying to get it out by next year. So I'm trying to talk about it on Twitter more. So check that out. And hashtag StopLine3, there should be links all around to go donate and to support Camp McGeezy as they start winterizing their camps for the water protectors in the coming months here in Minnesota.
Sam Lev.
Hi, I have been your Cadrax Eversinger. When I'm not, you can find me throughout the Twitchernet as a role-playing performer. That whole schedule is on twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY, and all of my one-offs are on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, CHAIKOVSKY. And in terms of shout-outs, the Milwaukee Freedom Fund is raising bail for protesters, particularly since we are showcasing trials. Please support people who are protesting for a real justice system, because we need one. Thank you.
Yes, understatement of the year. I'm Rick Budd. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at rbud913, or you can follow the show at Powerplay RPG. I will be back here next week with these 4 incredible people to find out what happens to Cadrax and the crew. And on that, the theater goes dark, and we are in Baronsdale. It is present day. We're in Yard Hill at Doran Park, right by Serrano Memorial Hospital. It's rainy, and Abigail Fripp is walking dog while trying to stay under her umbrella. She pleads with Dog, "Come on, do your business. Getting soaked here. They're waiting for me at the diagnostic." And she just sighs and shakes her head, and she's like, "I'm talking to a dog." And just then, a man in a raincoat, I'll say he's played by Walt Goggins, walks up behind her. And he is carrying an unfolded street map, which is pretty wet from the rain. And he says, "Excuse me." And Abigail looks at him warily. "Yeah?" And he says, "I was wondering if you'd be kind enough to point me in the direction of the Doran Park Cafe. I know it's around here somewhere, but I can't seem to pick it out." Before she can answer, Dog growls at the man, who cautiously steps back and says, "Nice dog. Is that a shepherd? I love shepherds." Dog growls again and now barks at him. Abigail pulls on Dog's collar and just shh. And then she says to the man, "I'm so sorry. He's not normally like this." And the man smiles and says, "It's okay. Shepherds are born guard dogs. He's probably just worried about you." And there's a weird, awkward pause as they just stare at each other. But then Abigail points to the east side of the park and says, "The cafe is over there. It's the one with the red awning. The regular coffee isn't great, but I recommend the cappuccino." And he nods and he says, "Thank you kindly, miss. I'm going to go try that right now." And he flashes like a big warm smile at her. And she turns her back on him and starts walking towards the hospital. Dog lets out one more soft little growl, but then follows Abigail. The man in the raincoat watches Abigail and Dog disappear into the rain. And once she's out of sight, the smile immediately disappears from his face. And we cut to black. Thanks for playing with us.